of us is joining us right here on live stream today because it's such an amazing time to have great people, to have great people on the show tonight. It's going to be a day you will never forget. It's going to be a moment you will never forget. Wherever you are joining me from, you're joining me from LinkedIn, you're joining me from YouTube, you're joining me from Facebook, you're joining me for any part of the world that you're joining me for. Please put your name in the comments. Tell me where you're joining me from. Tell me what you do. Let us know how we can showcase you to the world. Let us know how HugeSmile can actually take you to the next level. Let us know how we can take you to another realm that you really, really want to be in this season, in this time, because HugeSmile do not come here just to give you a motivational speaking, to give you something low or something you are used to before. This is a structure. This is a movement. This is a movement that is going to change a lot of things about your business. It's going to change the way you see your business. It's going to change the approach in which you take to change your business. We want to appreciate you for joining us. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us from all the way from Hungary. Angelo, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us, Ms. Christina. We are so glad. We're so happy to be here live and direct from this part of the world. It's going to be an amazing time with you and I. Before anything, I like to be appreciating all of our speakers. I want you to meet our speaker right now. We have Angelo from Angola. Good to see you in the house. We have very, very proud to present the powerful voices that is going to be here with us today. These are people that I've learned so much from, even indirectly and directly. I've learned so much more from them. Not because they are here to speak today, not because we just have them to come and speak with us, no, but because we know that they are change, they are voice, they are global voices that can actually bring changes. Is it Stanley that I'm going to talk about? Stanley has been a wonderful person. He has been a very, very great person, even into my life, to people. And anybody who is listening to me may know who Stanley is. And I've worked with Stanley for the past 2 years now. I've actually worked with Stanley maybe close to a year. We were able to do something amazing together. We're able to promote Power Thinking. Power Thinking is a very, very great program that is being run by Stanley, and is the president of Power Thinking Global. And this is Odafe here. This is a brother that someone actually introduced to me, and listening to this man here, I know he got a lot of value to share with us. He got a lot of things to give with us. And what about Dino? Dino is an amazing person. Listen to all of these people by myself. I was inspired. I was moved to another person. So I know that them coming live and direct today to come and share value with you will never put you in the same position. It's going to be a great time with you and all of them. What about any somebody that make us to be famous? And he has been in this space. He has been a very big man, being a watchword for me, that when we got started with LinkedIn Audio, moving to LinkedIn Live now, we never knew that we were going to get to this stage as fast as possible like this. But we are excited as how much God has done for her. Martha is also on the house. She's going to be joining us and be sharing an amazing time with you and I. It's going to be sharing an amazing time with you and I. Please, without any further ado, please tell us where you are joining us from in the comment section. And the best you could be able to do now is to share this with your audience. Share this with somebody. Share this with someone that you care about. I always use that word. If you care about someone, then you will be able to share something about them. And now, right here is the time for our first guest speaker to be speaking with us on this show, and he's going to be talking about the power of our thinking. Whatever you want to achieve, wherever you are now, or whatever you choose to do with your life, it has to be done twice, and it is only done by our thinking. Thinking is very, very important whatsoever thing that you're doing, and there's power in our thinking based on all the things I've been able to listen to, I've been able to learn over the years. Many people knows me, from the ground up to where we are now, and glory to God that we're able to get to this level and we are moving to the next level. Thank you so much for everybody joining us from Lagos, from Abuja, from everywhere that you're joining us from. I see many people joining us from different part of the world. We are so, so glad to have you on the show tonight. It's about to go down and it's about to make sense. This is Prophet Roxana from South Carolina. I know you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Right, let's meet Stanley. Stanley H. Greening is a seasoned professional with over 25 years of experience in helping individual, large corporations, small businesses, and government and enter entities rather reach their full potential through financial management, positive engagement, and empowerment. He has improved operational sales and financial results for companies in cable TV, telecommunication, TV programming, internet, and state government. And he is the president of Power Thinking. Mr. Greene is currently president of Power Thinking Corporation, a global human development firm which help people and organizations thrive. He has conducted successful resilience and power thinking workshop for Comcast, Merrick, and Affleck, as well with partners in China and Tokyo, Japan. Mr. Green is graduate of the University of Pennsylvania, where he is co-president of his award-winning class. He was a captain of top 20 basketball team, coached by Basketball Hall of Fame coach, with laughing emoji, with a clapping emoji, with a lot of emoji in the comment. Please, let's make welcome Mr. Green as he share with us, as he withdraw from his wealth of knowledge tonight. As we draw from his wealth of knowledge tonight, please wave welcome Stanley in the comment section. Please say welcome to Stanley. We are happy to have you on the show. Welcome, sir. Happy to have you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, sir.
Tobaloba, thank you so much for having me. There are so many people that certainly I'm sure you had on your list, but to be actually part of it and to be leading it off as the first speaker, I want to thank you for that, and I'm very honored. So much appreciated. And again, congratulations on the launch of HugeSmile. You're going to be very, very successful. In fact, you are successful. Number one, because you got started. I know there may have been doubts and concerns, and you may have pushed it off many times, but it's important to just get started, and you've done that. So let's talk about the power that each and every one of us has to do what Tobaloba is doing, or whatever your dream is. So when we're born with a clean slate, but we're born with a lot of power. In fact, our brains are processing every day 50,000, a minimum of 50,000 thoughts. And I don't care where you are in the world, and I've done this work in Beijing, China, and in Tokyo, Japan, and Chongqing, China, different parts of the United States. I have a partner who's conducted workshops in Kenya, in Nairobi, and I'm proud to have partners like Tobaloba and Olu in Nigeria. So this is an exciting time because through technology, we can help people no matter where you are in the world to tap into something that has already been given to us, but most of us have tremendously underutilized. So I want to share, kind of a story of a woman who, when you leave this session, you may be able to catch, on my page, the replay of an interview that I conducted with a very powerful woman. Her name is Emma Chappelle. So she was the national treasurer of the Jesse Jackson. You may have heard of Jesse Jackson, who was part of the inner circle of Dr. Martin Luther King, who did incredible work in the United States and influenced folks all over the world. And Jesse Jackson was a young man and actually was with him when he passed away. Well, Jesse Jackson just passed away, but not before, really tapping into his power to help other people realize their own power and to tap into their faith and to accomplish things that they didn't think that they could accomplish. Well, Emma Chappelle, the woman that I interviewed, actually it was replayed, and it'll be replayed after this session on my page. She was his national treasurer when he was running for president in 1984. And that was a major run. In fact, you've probably heard the name Barack Obama, but he paved the way for Barack Obama to be successful. And the woman I interviewed, Emma Chappelle, was his national treasurer. But what happened was, and in this interview, and I'm glad I replayed it because it brought things back to me as to why I do what I do with power thinking. In the interview, she shared how even when she was in banking, she was just a clerk, but she had a belief. She had this belief in herself that she can be president of the bank. And this was during the 60s when you didn't see many African Americans in banking at all, let alone someone who believes that they can be the president. But this is how powerful our thoughts are, which are driven by whatever we believe. So the question is, what do you believe? What do you believe that you can accomplish? You're only limited by what you believe, which then drives those 50,000 thoughts a day. Are they repetitive around struggling, around not making it? Or are they big dreams and that you can accomplish anything, that there are no limitations to what you can accomplish? And so when you put that in place like she did, she ultimately, what inspired her was being a national treasurer for a presidential campaign and raising $13 million just from small contributions. And then she said, well, if I can do this for a campaign, for a presidential campaign, why don't I start a bank? Why don't I start a bank as opposed to being a president of somebody else's bank? And she did that. And along the way, she had setbacks, just as we have setbacks. There was a stock market crash in 1987, where before that, there were a bunch of high-level people that had the financing to help her. And they said, we are going to help you start the bank. And so she was very excited because she had this vision, she had this goal. And think about things like HugeSmile and whatever initiatives you're trying where you're ready to get started and then something hits. And then your mind starts to tell you, well, I don't know if it can happen. Well, when the stock market crash happened, she was told, hey, we can't invest now. And so for the average person, they would quit. And this is what we help people not to do with power thinking. And she was thinking about it, believe me. I mean, because these automatic thoughts happen and over again, the repetitive thoughts, the negative thoughts, 70 to 80% of those 50,000 thoughts are negative. But then she pivoted, and this is what resilient people, and this is what we do with power thinking. We help people to tap into the power they have to become more resilient, to bounce back from any setback. And so what she said was, well, wait a minute. I knew of a person, her mentor, who actually was a person that was instrumental in bringing down apartheid in South Africa and freeing Nelson Mandela. by getting America not to invest in South Africa during the apartheid period. And he was successful. But what he was also successful in doing was starting the first African-American owned shopping center in the United States. And what he did, which is what Emma Chappelle, who was in his congregation, he was a pastor of a church in Philadelphia where I was born and raised, Reverend Leon Sullivan, you can look him up. She thought back to how he was able to raise the money to start a shopping center. And it was a plan called the 1036 plan. That he would get people in the church to invest $10, just a small amount of money, $10 a week for 36 weeks. And then not only his church did it, but churches all over Philadelphia. And so he raised hundreds of thousands of dollars that way. And so she thought, because she still had that belief, remember how powerful the belief was. Even though the stock market crashed and these people that were very wealthy, changed their minds about investing, she pivoted and she said, you know what? I still believe that we can start this bank, and we're going to do it with $10 each from people. We would do $10 in lots of 50. So they would have to invest a minimum of $500. And I was one of their investors. This was way back in the early 90s. And so she was able to do that, and she raised the money. The banking commission that approves banks and regulates banks in the state of Pennsylvania in the USA said, you need $3 million. And so she raised that money from the community, $10 at a time. So she overcame that first, adversity. Now she raised the $3 million. She drove 2.5 hours to the capital of Pennsylvania and said to the commission, give me my charter to start my bank. I have the $3 million. And it was hard work. It was a couple of years. And I was involved with it. I used to do a radio show, and we would educate people. I wrote a newspaper column. We would educate people about the bank. And everyone was so excited. And when she got there, they changed the rules. These are the kinds of things that happen to us in life. But we can't get discouraged. Remember, she still had this belief. And in the interview that I did with her that you can hear on my page, she talked about even seeing the bank in her mind. The belief was so strong that she could see it in her mind. So nothing was going to stop her. So she gets there and they say, oh yeah, we see that you raised $3 million, but you're going to need $5 million. You need another $2 million. And in that interview I conducted with her, she said she could hardly drive home at the 2 hours. She was crying so much. She hit that setback. She had that negative emotion. She was sad and angry. But guess what? The belief was still there that despite the setbacks, I'm going to start this bank. And when she got home, she did what we talk about in power thinking. We talk about 7 strengths that resilient people have, and we help people build those strengths from emotion regulation, the ability to stay calm under pressure. And so certainly she was, upset and angry and sad and embarrassed, all these emotions at the same time. But rooted in those beliefs were, hey, I got to do something. So we have emotion regulation. The impulse control is another inner strength of resilience, and that is the impulse not to quit in this case. But the most powerful is our inner strength that we help people build, number 7, reaching out. So after she cried, all the way back to Philadelphia, 2 hours driving and really upset, she reached out. She didn't quit and say, it's not going to happen. And this is what we teach people to do, that reaching out is a strength. It is not a weakness. So she called me and she called others and told us what happened. And she took action. So reaching out is connecting with other people like you're doing here with Tobalova and the other speakers, and taking action when faced with setbacks and challenges, and not giving up, staying isolated, and just crawling up in a ball and doing nothing. So that was the second setback. She went out and we all got together and we raised not only another 2 million, but another million on top of that. It was 6 million that she raised, and she got her charter to start the bank. And the picture you'll see with her hand up in the air, along with Jesse Jackson, who was at the grand opening, was back in 1992. I was there, my wife and I were there for that grand opening, and it was a joyous time. She started that bank and led it for 10 years, and it is still in existence. It's called the United Bank of Philadelphia. So, folks, the only thing in life that's constant is change. Things are always changing. Right now, there's a lot of talk about AI. How can we embrace it? When we're having those setbacks, we don't have money. We may have had a business venture that fell through or an idea that didn't work. Like Emma Chappelle, by the way, her own husband, and she says this in the interview, didn't believe that she can do it. She said, look, African American people don't come together to support anything. What makes you think that you can do it? A person that called me on my radio show when I had her on the radio show, I'll never forget, and I mentioned it in the interview. So he said, what makes you think? We're in a recession now. It's 1991. What makes you think during this recession in the United States that you can start a Black-owned bank? And she said, I believe that it can be done. And she did it. So when you're part of what we do, as Tobalova shared with you, and he's been part of Power Thinking, every week we're focusing on a different skill or strength. We have an app now, the Power Thinking Power Thinking Corp mobile app, where we've actually just cut our prices in half, and we've given people an opportunity to try it out at no cost, where you can get push notifications on a daily basis and a few times throughout the course of the day, where you can actually learn to be more resilient. The evidence-based, science-based skill that came out of the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology Center that'll help you so that when things get tough, you don't quit. You're rooted in your faith and your beliefs, and through people like Tobalova and the other speakers, like Annie, who is part of our group at Power Thinking, you will overcome anything. So I thank you very much for this opportunity, Tobalova. Again, I'm honored to be part of this successful launch, and we'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate you just showing up. You being able to work with someone, and this will make me to really, really talk about what you made mention of reaching out. I remember many times I reach out, can I do this? Can I do that? And this is one story. There was a lady who I got through you when I was working with you, who reached out to work with me, and then she was like, I reached out to you that, or this lady reached out to me. She was like, you were like, how did you get me in the first place? You can get this person the way you get me in the first place. Do you understand? Like, you could be able to get me. And I got this woman, and I can tell you, this was the first person that paid me maybe close to a million naira for the first time, a million naira for the first time. Do you get? That's the power of you reaching out. Many of us here, we are on LinkedIn. We are so many of the place, and I have learned a whole lot of things. Even when I was getting started with the preparation of this launch, I got to realize that people that we see their picture, we see their content, they are deeper than what we think they are. They are deeper than who you imagine that it can be. I have spoken to in fact, I've spoken with someone who have just like 500 followers years on this LinkedIn, and is even more superb than somebody with 100,000, more superb with somebody that with a 50,000 followers. And these are people that have been able to help, that have been able to take us from where we are from where we were to where we currently are. Honestly, it takes great person to be able to attract someone who is great. And I can tell you today, people who are on the stage, they are great, not because I'm seeing their face, but somebody like Dr. Vivian that have reached out to somebody like Martha Oluchi, that have reached out to somebody like Odafe. These are people that have actually spoken with one-on-one. and it changed my thinking about people. Earning has been like a big brother on LinkedIn to me all over this time, and I've learned so much from all of these people. See, it's about to get started. We are just getting started, but because before we bring our next speaker on the board, please kindly put a thank you in the comment section for Stanley. Please, let's give him a very, very big of a round of applause for even showing up, for even be like, oh, this boy that we picked, that we know from nowhere, and yeah, he's doing something. He didn't say no. And I reached out to some people who has not even up to like 2% of who he is, and be like, they say no to what we're able to do. That's the power of relationship. Build relationship, and you could be able to get to better place. Honestly, this I cannot get with money. I cannot get it with money. It's only relationship that could be able to take us to where we are today. And I'm going to take it up right off from there. But before I go and introduce our next guest speaker, who's going to be Odafe, I really, really want to make shout out to all of the people that are in the comments with us today. Thank you so much, Paul, for joining us all the way from I think Hungary. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, Angelo from is it Angola? Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, Christina, all the way from Nigeria. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Udemy. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for all the things you've been doing for us. And Adesola from Nigeria, my able friend, thank you so much for joining us. Gideon from also from Nigeria, I think from Lagos, thank you so much for joining. We're really, really happy to have you. Dixon, thank you so much for joining us from um Abuja. Then we have Prof. Hosanna, who has been a very great friend all this while. I've known her for a very long time. I will meet in many occasions. Thank you so much for joining us. Then Shiwan, thank you so much for joining us from India. We have a full house. We have people from different part of the world, and I don't know why it should not be here. Please put on the go to your share button, share this with somebody, let them know that something great is happening here, let them know something amazing is happening. I shout out to you, Franklin, for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. A lot of people are joining. I can see many people on LinkedIn, many people from different part of the, yeah, Michael, thank you so much. Michael has been a very good friend as well, that I got to meet him, sometime last year. Thank you so much for joining us from Philadelphia. It's such an amazing time with you. Then Lisa, all of you who has joined us. The list is endless. The list is endless. If I go on and on, I will not be able to leave here. I shout out to you. Thank you everyone for joining, and Sean, who has been a very backbone to this team. And without any stress, without any wasting of our time again, we prepared this one to be a valuable session. We want it to be very, very valuable. We want it to be a time that you will never forget. We want it to be a time that you will never forget. Do you get? That is why we are bringing amazing set of people, to join us on the board, to be able to do so many great things with us on the stage tonight. See, this is Odafe, and I'm going to be reading something amazing about him. See, Odafe is an Upwork top rated YouTube script writer. He is also a versatile content writer, academic writer, and a researcher. He has helped over 30 students get their master's degree, help business with their trajectory by writing their business plans for them. He has done over 180 jobs on Upwork. And this is somebody that have just 2,000 followers here on LinkedIn. If you have been looking at on people that have small followers here on LinkedIn, I think today is the time that you're supposed to change your mind on you looking down on people, right? He has done over 180 jobs on Upwork, worked with several clients all over the world across niches, which give him an understanding of client relation and delivery quality services, which goes beyond just getting the gig. Right? His 100 plus 5-star review shows his work ethic and the overall excellence in client mastery and service delivery. He started writing professionally in 2020 when artificial intelligence was not easily accessible, and he seamlessly pivoted to the era of writing with the assistance of AI, giving me a double-edged sword in the freelancing and remote work. a love emoji, with clapping emoji, with a welcomes clapping in the background wherever you're joining us from. Please let's welcome Odafe again as he speak with us about remote work today. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining me on this stage. Thank you so much for joining me on this stage tonight. It's such a great privilege to have you on the stage. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Tobilola. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on HugeSmile. I do hope it gives both clients and workers a huge smile. I would like to acknowledge the previous speaker and the ones coming. The previous speaker talked about self-belief, and there's something in his story that really resonated. He spoke about the woman telling her husband her dreams, and he said he didn't believe her. That's her husband, and it is the insanity. This is the insanity that comes with belief. When you have a belief, it is yours, and you seem mad when you say it. Now, one thing that was not on my bio is I used to be a fashion designer. I used to make clothes, and then I pivoted to remote work to writing, and everybody thought I was mad because the simple mind in my economy, in the Nigerian economy, that this is something feasible. Everybody knows it. People would want to make clothes, right? And again, I was deemed insane. Fast forward 6 years later, I have written for several people, literally all over the world, by the grace of God, and it has brought me to this very point. So building on from what uh, our previous speaker said, it brings us back to remote work. Now, remote work over the years has been seen as a side hustle by many. It has been overlooked. But the thing that people miss is that since 2020, after the COVID pandemic, there has been a staggering rise in remote work. There's been a 150% rise in remote work. That's 20 more percent of people now work remotely. They don't just work remotely, they add to their global, to their national economy. So the thing that happened before COVID, there was remote work and there was office work and we had hybrid, right? But what happened was COVID put everybody in the house, as we know, and companies had to work. The economy had to move in some way, and a lot of companies that needed, you know, to even companies like Amazon and frontline workers, they needed even banks. They started working remotely. You would see people, okay, let's get the work done because money has to move. The guy that is initiating the transfers in the front desk has to still do it. So they shifted to remote work and they found out that the world, the global economy found out that this is even more convenient because sorry to say, but this is reality. A lot of remote workers can relate to this. You can start remote work without shower, right? There's no hassle of going to the bathroom, getting all dressed up. You just wake up, put something in your body to get it going, and you start working. That's the convenience. But it eliminates having to shower, getting dressed up, driving to work, or commuting to work. That is why remote work has become a staple in 2026. And it has spread across tech. I think most people that do remote work are called tech pros, but it's it's not the only term for them. There's people doing remote work in creative media. I have helped people in the creative industry craft business ideas and plans. That is me working remotely in the creative industry. And there's professional service sectors. There's even apps that you could talk to doctors with now. So that doctor is essentially working remotely, even if it's working from his office. The fact that you are not with him physically, it means that that's a remote service. As a matter of fact, this entire program we're having right now is happening remotely in real time. So that shows us that remote work is here to stay. However, here lies a problem. Now, a lot of remote workers find it difficult to. My screen is freezing. Okay, there we go. The unseen needle about remote work is is often ignored. Now, the mindset of the average remote worker, whether you're looking for clients or whether you're looking for an employer that would statically employ you and have you on the payroll, is most of them just want the look for the job, they want to get the job done and get paid. That's the two-tier mindset. They want to survive, which is modest. It's a modest stuff. And it makes sense, right? I just want to work and get paid. All of the other stuff, um, yes, remote work. Someone is saying remote work, as I said, long before 2022. Yes, it did. COVID made it a big deal. So the simple mindset for the average remote worker is get the job, deliver the job, and get paid. Again, it is fine. There's the middle that a lot of remote workers miss that I have to figure out on my own through personal research and personal experience. There's delivery, there's customer relationships, there's there's um there's urgencies, there are miscellaneous, there are unplanned scenarios that could happen. You could have an agreement with a client to deliver by 6 p.m. on Wednesday, and then something happens. Maybe your mom got sick, maybe your dog died, maybe something happened. There's that communication, and this unseen middle, like I call it, is where a lot of freelancers or remote workers ghost. Even we have situations where remote workers that are employed by a company, they ghost their employer or the supervisor for weeks on end, and then sometimes they come back when the work is done or when they fixed it, or or they don't come back at all, and that's it. There's also the problem of communication where there's this, a lot of remote workers overthink that, oh, I have to deliver this work. But because they are working through a screen essentially, they forget that these people you're working for are like them. I have to learn that. I have that problem. So I felt like I felt I was working for my phone and my phone then would pay me. I don't know if this makes sense, but it's kind of a crazy thought that most remote workers would have, right? That most remote workers will have like, oh, because they say that. So then they go. So when they know that okay, they can't finish this work on time, and then they go, they don't communicate. So many things go wrong. That is the middle. That is beyond. See, you've gotten the gig now. Probably you got paid up front, or you're gonna be paid after. Depends on your agreement. However, whatever it is, there's a lot of things that goes on in between getting the job and delivering the job, and these these affect how your clients or potential employer reacts to you. Because if you are messy in the middle, you might have clients that would not come back or not refer you or not or change their after a month of working, then they just tell you, oh, we have to we there's always a match story. We have to cut back, we might not be able to afford you. There's so many excuses they could come up with and then they're gone. Now, this can even happen when you do a good job. You do the job, you follow instructions, but they drop you. Why? Probably because you're not participating in the work. And some clients, in fact, 90% of clients need a problem solver, not a service provider. Most remote workers don't think that way. So they think they think like, oh, okay, I'm just here to work and then leave. No, clients want you to communicate with them, to help fix their problem, to expand their solution. So even if they have an idea of the solution and you are doing it, it is fine for you to like expand that solution. Okay, let's do this and let's do this and let's do that. Right? So sometimes you might just that's what I'm saying. The modest sort of get the job, do it, and get paid might make you lose the client. Now, even if you have all of this covered, you're still human. That's why an agency like HugeSmile is such a good idea. This is where it comes in. And I would like to congratulate Toby Lola. We've been on each other's network for a while, and we are not interacted up until this season. And it's such a great idea. So it could HugeSmile could act as a god eye between the client and the remote worker. So let's go before I go deep into that. Let's go into sorry, I have notes. I'm just using them as cues. Now, that's I think I just spoke about the freelancer or the remote worker part. You know, they're stuck in that getting the job, delivering the job, and getting paid, and then they miss the middle. There's also the problem of the client. Now, thankfully, I've been able to grow my brand to where I now have people that work with and for me. So I have a team of remote workers I manage. And I know the first problem of a client or an employee is trust, reliability. Would I be able to sleep well having given this job out? Now you are paying this person. That doesn't guarantee you they're gonna do it. It doesn't even matter if you pay them $1,000 for a small task. They might still flop, and you cannot tell, right? All you have is their word. You cannot physically hold them. It is remote work. You don't know where they live. You don't know their office. Sometimes you don't even know their name. It depends on the medium and the kind of task you're trying to do. You don't know what they look like, right? So because most clients in the clients and remote workers in this ecosystem care about two things. The worker cares about getting paid. The client cares about getting that problem solved. So the other things are usually details, except it's like an employment role. So there's this problem. So even you have the issue of communication, you see, affect both parties. When you as a remote worker start ghosting, I mean I've been ghosted before and I couldn't sleep because I didn't know what was going on. I've been ghosted. Thankfully, I don't employ people to work on stuff I cannot do myself. So when I had the issue, I started doing the work myself, and then she came back and started explaining. I was like, "Don't worry, I've got it covered." But that cost me one night of sleep, and which ended up making me unproductive for the rest of the week or halfway productive. So that is the problem from the freelancer side. Now, even from the client side, even in the case when you get a remote worker that adheres to time, that is trustworthy, that is properly skilled, that collaborates with you and not just do the job. There's also unforeseen circumstances. There's also lack of a third party to mitigate, to kind of supervise between that situation. Now, the freelancer can be doing well and then they fall sick, right? They fall sick. The remote worker, even if it's an employee but works remotely, they can fall sick. They can have a family emergency. You have to be compassionate. You have to think. You have to think about their well-being, right? Again, there's no structure, but as someone that we would like to believe we all here have a conscience or we think logically, you would have to know that okay, that's it. But sometimes you can be the bottleneck. Sometimes your systems can go off. Sometimes you have an emergency. Even if you have a company that's hiring these things, some things may go wrong. That again is where HugeSmile comes in. Now, I was looking at HugeSmile as an initiative, and my first reaction was, "This is a brilliant idea," because because um like I said, the freelancer or remote worker can do everything right, can tick all the boxes, can communicate properly, can work properly, but unforeseen circumstances come into place. Also, the client could still tick all the boxes, or have a freelancer or remote worker that ticks all the boxes, but they are still uncontrollable, and you cannot control everything because at the end of the day, both parties focus on one thing: one, getting the job done properly and getting paid. The second one focuses on getting their problem solved. So all of the other things that can be overwhelming if you add it to the already overwhelming task of what you should be focused on, which is as a remote worker getting the job done, as a client getting your problem fixed, is all those unforeseen circumstances. What if your remote worker ghosts you? What do you then do? Maybe they're not ghosting. Maybe the device went off. Maybe they got kidnapped. Anything could come into play. So HugeSmile is a brilliant idea because there is a gap in the client remote worker relationship. Now this gap is huge and very overlooked. Even on platforms like Upwork, that gap still exists. Yes, because Upwork has one goal. Upwork connects Upwork connects freelancers or remote workers to it doesn't not necessarily freelancers, but it's mostly remote workers that are on the platform. They connect these people looking for jobs to people looking for solution providers. So that's where they meet. So Huge Smile is gonna do more than that. The idea representation of Huge Smile is gonna do more than it's gonna check back with the client. It's gonna check back with the freelancer and make sure they're a perfect match. And in the case of unforeseen circumstances, it then steps in the case of payment disputes, in the case of the client is not responding, the freelancer is not responding, there's a balance. Upwork is a client focused platform. You Smile is a remote economy focused platform. It doesn't focus on the freelancer or the client. It focuses on what they are doing. So it's a great idea, and I truly congratulate Tobiola for this initiative. Uh, um, I trust him to set a structure where both parties would work seamlessly. This is the much needed God eye, someone to supervise both parties. That me personally, as a remote worker, and personally again, as someone that hires remote workers, would need. And a huge congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Well, everybody, can you just put congratulations in your comments? Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so, so very much. You see, I have two stories to share. When you were making mention of, most of these remote workers, they just come here and they are with this survivor mentality. Do you get it? Let me just get a job and submit. And let me shake a table for the LinkedIn people. I see some people on LinkedIn, once they make 1 million naira, they just come up there and they just share. And sometimes I feel like, okay, does it mean that we've not made this kind of money? Why is it important I made mention of what I made mention the other time when Stanley was speaking is that these are people that we got started with. I give more than I promise clients. See, there's someone coming who I'm currently working with. This someone I will call. I noticed that she has paid her close to 5 million naira. She has given me close to 5 million naira. Then I called her a couple of weeks back. That man, all of this thing that you're doing, typical people will never call you into order. I will just continue to collect your money. I'll just continue to spend your money. But if this thing is not taken care of, your money is just going to be a waste. Your money is going to be a waste regardless. That is how it's going to be. So I told her you have to put a system and structure in place. This thing has to be done properly. If you do not do this thing properly, if you do not focus on this that you need to focus on, there is nothing you could be able to do. There was a particular person I work with that is what's her name? Dietrich in Philadelphia, that is United States. And she was so impressed with the work done for her, she even has to send some devices down from the United States to me, directly. I have a lot of success story that I can basically talk about this, but I will just come from where Odafe has basically speak. When you sound so desperate, when you make us to feel like it's our money you've come for, there is nothing we could be able to. There's no how you can be trusted. You can never be trusted that much. When you make me so desperate, a lot of desperate people, when you see them, they just, in fact, it's not necessarily mean that they cannot help. It does not necessarily mean that they don't have the solution to the problem,
The,
but
the
because they
mindset
are
is wrong
desperate,
at the time.
you make me to feel like, oh, are you here for the money or you're here for the solution? Right? There was a particular lady, Dr. Marka, let me just mention her name. Many people who's listening to me who will know who Dr. Amaka is. You see, I reached out to Dr. Amaka a couple of times. I think sometime last year, around February last year. That's when I was mastering the email copywriting aspect of my copywriting. That's when I was putting it together. Then I reached out to her that, okay, let me set up a sequence for you. Let's work with constant contact. And I worked with constant contact that time with her. But just like what you said, like unforeseen circumstances, I got into trouble. I just be like, thank God I didn't charge her. To be honest, I didn't charge this lady that, okay, just subscribe to constant contact. I'm just thinking that if I had charged her and what went wrong, it would have been like it's because I'm unable to deliver. Do you get? It is not always about the money, guys. It is not always about the money you are giving to us, business owner listening to me. It's not about the money you are giving to remote workers. You need to understand that people behind this thing, they are humans. And you must approach it from that perspective. You must approach it from that angle. Or less, just like the lady that is going to come, Lady Lola, she's in Texas, who is going to come later on. I do tell her that I'll continue to collect your money, but I care more about the money you're giving to me. To be honest with you, whether you give me your money to work with you or you do not give me your money, I will get to where I need to get to. I will do what I have to do. Because when it was very, very low, when there was nothing to show for this, right? I didn't do what I'm not supposed to do. Not like when we can at least control, couple of money now. When we could be able to control money, when we could be able to see like this is what we've done, this is what we've achieved for XYZ, this is the thing we could be able to do. So I want to talk to you remote workers. I want to tell you remote workers that you should understand that it is not about the money all the time. It is not about the money you're giving out. It's not about the money they are giving to you. That sometimes the money you are paying as a business owner that not even solve the problem that you are thinking that they will be able to solve for you. So you must understand that as much as you're working with remote workers, understand that life happens. And that's the gap that the Eastman has come to fix. I didn't come here with motivation or anything. I come because I have evidence. I have people that work with. My very first client came from Paris. That's Angela Finch. Any know who Angela Finch is? This is the person that I work with when audio room was still audio room. In fact, some of you here are not on LinkedIn. You are not so active like that on LinkedIn as at that time. So it's not like some of us we just got started on LinkedIn. I have made monies on LinkedIn. I've made millions here on LinkedIn. And I have people that can be like, okay, they can testify to that. They can testify to that. So when you are approaching people, when you are approach them with value. Approach them with the fact that you have solution you are bringing to the table. And honestly, that you have an idea doesn't mean you should be able to figure everything out by yourself. There's a lady, Tayo, I love to mention him. She's currently in Manchester, London. We just spoke like 2 days ago. I was like, you can't pay me for my service, but I could be able to offer you this. I can't collect 50 pounds. I can't collect 100 pounds for this social amount of this thing. But this is what I can offer you for free. You don't have to be desperate, but I know what I can do. Once you show us that this is what you're capable of doing, they are ready to pay. Somebody like Angela Finch, are people that wake me up in the night and be like, oh, Tobiloba, we just made a sales. I'm talking about high ticket offer, 1,500 euro, 2,000 euro, 5,000 euro, 10,000 euro. So it's not about all the money all the time. And I really, really want to appreciate you, Odafe, for actually coming from this angle, for coming from this perspective, for bringing this to light. You see, we are launching,
Thank you,
we
sir.
are launching and we are not going. We are not going, but we have come to stay, to change different things in the marketplace, to change different things when it has to do with remote work, to change a whole lot of things for you as a business owner. So if you need people you want to trust with your money, definitely we are not looking for people who are looking for cheap labors who doesn't believe in what they do. I do tell my client, if you don't believe in what you are doing, if you believe in what you are doing, definitely you'll be able to pay. for what you are bringing to the table. But if you do not believe in it, you will not be able to pay. So you must understand that if you believe in what you do, you must be able to give. You must be able to provide the whatever things that is needed to be able to carry out the task you've given to one remote worker or the other to work with you. So you must understand that life is beyond your 1,000 US dollars. Life is beyond the 500 US dollars you've given. It's beyond the 1,500 US dollars. There is more to that. There is more to what a remote worker could be able to offer you beyond that. But until you are able to approach this from a humanity standpoint, you must be able to approach that. Thank you so very much for joining us with that. If I continue to speak and speak and speak, there's so many things to give, but we have a lot of speakers that is already on the standby to be able to share with us. And when I say speaker, I'm not talking about people that are looking for penning up, and these are people that have results. These are people that have been able to do a lot of things for the world. These are people that I have the solution, to problems. Somebody like Annie, he said, "We make you feel." Annie made me known to so many people. A lot of people got to know me through Annie. So it's not about the mouth. It's not about the noise. So you may need to reduce the noise to some extent and let us know how you can help. Let us know how you can help. My book, my ebook, the client flow system, has so far so good. It has been gotten by 20 people, and most of them, I think, like 15 got it from the United States. And here we are in Nigeria. So you must be able to do what you have to do, commit to it, what you really, really need to do. Please, let's thank Udafe on the in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining us. I really want this relationship to continue. All of us that have been able to join me on this stage, all of us that have been able to show up for me. Honestly, this relationship is not going to end like this. It's not going to die. We are continuing to go from different part of the world. From here in Nigeria, a lot of people have gone to know me across the world. I'm famous than what you can imagine. I mean, I'm famous more than 26,000 26,000 followers or connection you see on this place. Please, let's give a round of applause to my brother. He is my brother. I can boldly call him my brother. Without wasting our time, I'm going to be bringing our next speaker on board as he has come to share with us. This is Eni Osong. You see, many of us, we approach him from Mr. Famous. Let's make him famous. And this is not about mouth. And it's someone that I've trust with, has integrity. I've learned a lot of things from him. I have learned a lot of things from him, and I cannot lie. They are part of the reason why we are where we are today. That's part of these people that make us to be where we are today, and we'll continue to grow, continue to be from where we are now. So let me read to you. Eni Osong is a publisher, event godfather. I can attest to that. He's an event godfather. Do you get? He's an event godfather. Eni founded and is the founder, he's a transformational speaker. He's the founder as the managing director of Global.Media, a marketing agency and book publisher. He has been a publisher for more than 10 years. He's passionate about inspiring and supporting people all over the world to dare to dream big and take necessary huge action to achieve their divinely gifted potential and life. A life of successful joy and wealth, and is on a mission to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs as a transformational speaker, author, publisher, and event organizer host. In addition to earning the godfather of LinkedIn event title by hosting more LinkedIn audio room and live events than anyone on the planet. I can attest to that. And Enin is a 8 times hashtag international best-selling author for his a technology lesson we learned from COVID-19. His company Global.Media elevates authors and ambitious people who have created unique solutions by working with them to write, publish, and sell their books and build their legacy. Any has 100% success record in making the authors. They work with Amazon #1 bestseller, and he is using a past investing lecturer and leadership development consultancy experience to create hybrid, in-person, and digital public speaking stages and workshops to inspire the next generation of brilliant entrepreneurs. Without wasting our time, please can we make welcome any awesome in the comment? Can we make welcome any awesome in the comment? Please, with a love emoji, with a round of applause, let's wave welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Erin. You have been
Thank
a
you.
cheerleader. You have been
Thank
a
you.
cheerleader. I
Thank you
appreciate you.
so much. Thank you for your kind words. I feel like blushing, right? You can hear me okay, right? You can hear me
You
okay
can.
then.
We can hear you.
Excellent.
We can hear
Okay,
you.
I should carry on. No, thank you for your kind introduction. Did I write that? Yeah, I'm sure I did, right? Anyway, I'm a humble person. I think, I'm just glad for the chance to speak. And I'm glad for the chance to talk to our brothers and sisters, especially. I think, those of us who find some joy in our business, who find success, call it that, we can share with others what we have learned and what's worked for us. It doesn't mean that you can copy exactly what we do. It doesn't mean that you can still find your way. Let me start my clock. Just be on the right way, right? Look, so my conversation today is about integrity. So I want to share a bit about why integrity is important to me and why it should be important to you too. Maybe I'm talking more to Tabaloba and the team, of the HugeSmile team, because I think integrity is everything. With it, you have a business. Without it, you're in trouble. I'll explain why in the next 10, 15 minutes, right? I think integrity is a word that covers a million and one things. And integrity means honesty. Integrity means being transparent. In other words, you share the truth. People can see what you mean and don't have to think twice. What's that really mean? What's it saying? When you have integrity, people will get what you're trying to say, pretty much in one sentence or two, at least in one sitting, right? I'll say as a business owner, look, I think integrity is how I got to where I am today. All the things that Belobo talked about, being that guy or that lady who does what you say you do, who is that person who has kindness in the soul, who helps others, who cares for others. I think that's all part of integrity, right? I'd say if no one can run a business that is heartless, that is soulless. People try, don't get me wrong, and many of them just go bankrupt very quickly. So integrity is more than being honest. It's more than doing the right thing. Integrity is also about having the right values and believing the right things, and believing the things that help people. Rather than thinking me, you think we, because a business is normally a collection of people. We have to get all these different parts of integrity into our way of being. I say those words deliberately. We don't do honesty. We are honest or we're not. We don't do integrity. Either we have integrity and live by it, or we'll suffer the consequences. Integrity is the biggest tool you're going to have in your business. All the things that we talk about on mindset, essentially, it all comes back to being that person who does the right things, thinks the right things, believes the right things, and I'm going to make the right things happen. That's integrity for you, right? Now, let me try and break it down, my friends. I think it's important to really understand where those who lack integrity, lack honesty, lack fairness, where they go. So I want to talk about now 3 main parts of integrity. So the first thing I want to talk about is integrity with our customers. Your customers need you to be honest. That means so many things to customers, right? See, on LinkedIn, especially, many people will focus on what they sell, what they do, whatever the service is. And they think that is what is important. Let me tell you, so I've been on LinkedIn for a good few years now. And for the last 10 years, it's been how I make my money. And the first thing I learned is that the customers that you're going to work with, they want you, of course, to deliver your primary service. Whatever you say you do, they want you to actually do what you say you would do. But more importantly, your customers want a lot more. They want you to love them. And say, I love them. I don't mean in a sexual kind of way. I mean, love them, like friends do. That's number one integrity in business. You have to truly care for your customers, love who they are, love what they need, love what you do to help them. If you have no love in your heart for your customers, you're sunk. Now, there's that saying, it takes years to build up trust, where you can lose it all in seconds. That's the truth. If your customer thinks you don't care at any time, even after they've paid you £1 million and £1 million, they're gone. So first and foremost, find a way to have that honesty, that care, that love in your heart. When you do that, see, customers will give you a lot of leeway. Even I'd say again, I've been in business long enough. Apart from doing marketing, I publish books, right? And the only reason I'm still here is because of those customers who are kind to us. They're kind to us because they appreciate that we are doing our best. We're doing the best we can for them. We're not all geniuses. Some of us are very good, don't get me wrong, but we're not all geniuses, and we do make mistakes. As again, it said in the last speech part, right? We can do things wrong, but if you act with true honesty and give your best every time, customers will give you some leeway. They will forgive you for many of the things that you might do. Now, make sure you start with loving your customers. See, here's the second real part of integrity that people easily forget. Now, I know HugeSmile is a team of people. I don't know whether Tobaloba is the leader, per se. But I'll leave that be. I'll say this though. You need to be honest, fair, and right-minded by your colleagues, the people you work with. In my business, I have a very simple rule. Now, one apple can ruin the barrel of apples. In other words, one team member can destroy your business. And that's just the truth, right? So I've had many staff. I think even the last team of people that I worked with, I had to let them go because they could not work as a team. They could not decide who was responsible for what. So everyone had a job to do, and most of the time they actually did the job very well. But there were some jobs that required teamwork, that required collaboration, again, something I mentioned earlier. And they just could not find it within themselves to come together and get it done. So I fired everyone, like I do very often. Like if there's one rotten apple in my barrel, I know that if I keep that same team, that same person in my team, they'll destroy my business. This is to say to you, be the person who brings more to your team than even you expect. Teamwork requires us to be honest. Teamwork requires us to be present every day, to show up and give our best. Teamwork requires us to take responsibility. Yes, of course, I know what my job is. You know what your job is too. But there's something that needs to be done. What do you do? This has always been a conundrum in life, right? As far as I'm concerned. So is it that everyone must contribute the same amount? Or is it that we must do what it takes to make our team work? This comes down to how who you are, your integrity, really. Your team, they rely on you to be honest, dependable. So do as you say you will do, but also be a good team player. At the same time, be an expert, the expert you are. Do what you do, of course. Do what you do very well, but we must work together as a team. If something needs doing, let's just get on and do it, right? Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's not be waffling about it's not my job. Let's not be finding a way to blame others for not doing something or for doing something differently. Integrity in a team requires that you appreciate all your team members. You support everyone. You energize them. You don't knock people. You don't talk behind their back. You don't belittle anyone. You truly believe in the power of your team, and you play your role and more. Without that level of integrity and honesty in your team, you're almost sunk. That's the sad reality of integrity in a team. And the one thing I will say, when you work in a team, my friends, look, I'll say two things. Number one is this: no excuses. Don't be giving excuses. Don't be making up stories for why you have or haven't done something. Be honest, be transparent. Just be honest and come out with it and say, here's what I did, here's what happened, here's what needs to change, here's what I'm gonna change. The second thing I will say when it comes to working in a team is don't present up. I say that again. Do not present up. What does that mean, Annie? What do you mean? Right. Here's the problem we have in business. So in business, the juniors feel the need to tell stories to those in power, those in management. That's why I said earlier, I don't know if Tabaloba is the leader, if he's the one bringing everything together, right? But in your team, my friends, don't be going to the boss and telling stories. Because you've seen it done so many times. People go to they go do presentations to the management team. They everything's glorious, everything's great, everything's marvelous. They're hiding the truth. We know that. They know that too, right? Don't present up. Just tell the truth. I saw somewhere the other day. In most presentations, you can cut out the first 8 to 10 minutes and just go into the last 2 slides, where it says, here's our reality, here's the way forward. Be that honest with your team at all times. So I've covered being honest as a whole, being honest with customers and being honest with your team. You see, the biggest integrity point, the biggest person we have to be honest with is ourselves. we must be honest with ourselves. People wonder why I do what I do the way I do. The simple reason is that I know what I have to do. I'm responsible for my own business, and I have to do what I have to do, right? I can't lie to myself. I can't go and turn the telly on, lay on the sofa and say, oh, I don't know why that didn't get done. I don't know how that happened. I know how it happened. It was me. So be honest with yourselves, and you find that you have maybe the first few steps on any journey. Being honest with ourselves means we have what Sir Stanley Green talked about. Belief, belief, belief. We believe in this business. We believe in this company. We believe in our solutions. And we believe so much that we will deliver as we have to. If you don't believe in this project, get out of it. You have to believe. You have to believe in your colleagues. You have to believe that you will bring something to the table. Your expertise, your honesty, your kindness, your mindset. You are part of this. Everything we do, everything we become, everything we are involves you. Internalize that reality and then make sure that you're doing what you have to do to become better tomorrow. Deliver today, become better tomorrow. That means you have to learn. It means you have to be creative. You have to be willing to find solutions to problems. Rather than saying, oh, I can't do it. It can't be done. Damn, we failed. No, find a solution. There's nothing that's impossible. It's whether you're applying your brain to really find that solution. Find that solution. It's on you to do so. Don't make excuses to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Do the honest thing and do it with pride and with joy. That's the only way we're going to survive and make some money out of this, right? And look, above all, when it comes to looking at yourself, tackle your fears, my friend. We'll have to. It's easy to think small. Don't think small. This HugeSmile can go huge, can go big, can be a global business, right? Only if you as a team and as an individual believes you can. Believe in your power, believe in your potential, and you can achieve great things. Whether you think you can or you can't, it's up to you. You're right. If you don't believe, you go nowhere. If you truly believe, you're going somewhere. You can achieve greatness. You can serve more people and do amazing things. Your self-belief has to be everything. That's the biggest hurdle most people have. We're dishonest with ourselves. We lie to ourselves. Don't be that person. Do what it takes and get it done. Look, I think I've talked way too long already. I would say I will end with this. Look, honesty in business means supporting your friends, supporting others. It means truly believing in yourself. It means celebrating your friends and your colleagues' successes. It also means bringing your value to the table every day. Do all that, your business has half a chance, right? Thank you so much, Tabuloba. It's been a joy talking with you and your friends, my friend.
Wow. That was huge. In fact, I don't really need to say anything because even the team, they are putting everything they are saying word for word in the chat. And I'm sure so many people have actually listened to this. They have listened to this. And as you were speaking, I'm just saying, yes, okay. I think what I did was not a problem, wasn't a problem. But honestly, if I had anything to this you've said, it's just like I want to run it. So I want people to ponder on all of these things that you've shared. Ponder on it, think about it. And the team who are in the page, maybe you realize now you can know why I behave how I behave sometimes, how I do one times. When I tell you, we need to get this done. I wish God is here. God has been working with me for a longer period of time. And he knows that when we have to do work, we must get it done. No excuse, get it done. But without that, let me just, pause it right there. I would really want to appreciate you for joining us. Thank you so much for believing in this vision. Thank you for believing in me, for saying that dare to dream. And I tell you that those words, this is part of the evidence. This is part of the evidence. Dare to dream big. This is where we are today. And I can tell you that we are just starting. We are just starting because HugeSmile is coming here every Saturday from next week in where we call System and Structure Saturday. This is where we'll be able to explain more, and make sure that you follow our company page. I've been able to tag our company page. Follow our company page. We have a lot of things to share with you. And please, to all those that have one business or the other, if you stay to the end, we've actually prepared a huge package for you, something that can actually take you to the next level. It's going to be absolutely free. We are not even selling. This is not a sales call. This is not anything, but stay true, then you'll be able to get access to what we have to have you. Without any other wasting of our time, I have another amazing lady in the house. Just hear my voice before she come to the stage. You see, there are so many people I have met, and I used to have this belief that, oh, some people are like this. I used to really, really judge people, by how system it is, how a particular system is. Basically, let me say how they structure the system of LinkedIn. Oh, this is how these people does things. This is what they are doing, and I tend to judge people based on that. But honestly, when I got to meet with Martha, when I spoke to this lady, I know that we are blessed in my dear country, Nigeria. We are blessed with so many people. We are blessed with amazing people, on this space. And Martha is one of those great people that I think we are blessed with. We are blessed with Martha, and today she's going to be part of us. She's going to be sharing amazing things with us about herself. Please, without wasting of our time, because of our time, I like Martha to actually take the stage and share with us what we need to know about the power of AI. What do we need to understand about the power of AI? Please drop in the comment section. Say thank you for joining us, Mr. Eni, and thank you for being part of us, Martha. Please let's welcome Martha as she speaks with us on the power of AI. Thank you so much, Martha. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. How are you doing today, please?
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me on stage. Thank you. I kind of really appreciate this. And yeah, I'm so sorry that I cannot switch on my camera. I went out for for an event today that lasted from 10 a.m. to like 4 p.m. and I got home so tired. You don't want to see my tired face, trust me. So thank you for kind of having me here. So yeah, I was asked to speak on AI, not to teach us about the core things like what's it called, AI automations, no, but to talk about it because this is something that I've seen that is happening, especially as creators on LinkedIn. Like I've actually seen people that are scared to use AI. That's because they feel that AI is there to cause more harm than good, which I totally understand. So yeah, I'm going to take my time within these few minutes to kind of break it down for us so that we get to what's it called, understand better. Now, just for a start, AI is just a tool, just like every other tech tools that's that are in existence. Take for instance, when GSM phone came into Africa, came into this country, in particular, most of our parents were so scared to use the phones that we all use today. But guess what this phone is now doing for all of us? It has created opportunities for us. Also, I think it was around 2 years ago when um 5G came out. I was also scared of that, to move from 4G to 5G. But guess what? Everybody, almost everyone now is using 5G. Like my iPhone is automated to 5G. You cannot even change it. And that's what technology does. Now, don't get me wrong, AI has, its bad influence, just as it has its good influence. Just as these phones we use today has, the good part and also the bad part. What matters is what you decide to do with these AI tools, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on right now. Now, take for instance, apart from the fact that we know that we write content on LinkedIn using AI, because yeah, most of the content creators feed AI like their ideas, and guess what? This AI come up with something better for them so that they can write content and they can grow their pages. But I know that most of you don't know that apart from that, you can do like a whole lot of things with AI. Take for instance, this was like 3 days ago. I created my l- 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 landing page with AI, and that took me just like 5 minutes with the right prompting. Now, this was something that on a norm, I can't do that. That's because that is not what I know how to do. But then just because of I have been able to do that just within like a few seconds. Now, what I think we should do, um, as creators, is to actually focus on the like the good things that AI can do for us, so that we don't just miss this phase of AI. Also, like I started my marketing assets. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead, we can.
Okay, so like a year ago, I was having issues with my stores online, but just because of AI, this year I have been able to set those stores one after the other, and that's because of the help of AI. So yeah, henceforth, I want us to start asking the right questions instead of saying that AI is here to come and take up our job, or like AI is here just to do like bad things to what we have already. Just don't be among those that just think of the bad aspect of whatever it is. Start thinking of the good things that this particular era of AI can help you do in your skills. Now I want to run us down to the opportunities in AI apart from the content creation we think that we have. Now, there are AI tools which I know that like a lot of you don't know, that we use in sales, that helps us, to fix our sales dashboard so well. Also it helps us with our v- visual assets, so that we can bring to life what we have in our heads. Before AI now, those things took time, like time, and you try to think of fix this, fix that. But now with AI, just with the right AI tool and then with the right AI prompting, you can get those things done faster, and guess what? Cheaper. Also, you should also have it in mind that there are those, if you leave LinkedIn, this is what I keep telling my students: leave LinkedIn for some time, not like stop creating, but leave LinkedIn like like 2 hours in a day. Go to TikTok and go to Instagram. You would be shocked to know that there are people that 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 AI has turned their lives. That's because they decided to just focus on creating AI um content, and then they post on those paid platforms. They go viral, and then they get paid for those views. And this was what was so hard for them to do, like last 2 years or last year. But just because AI is here, they do those things. And now, don't get me wrong, there are also those of them that use this kind of content to do, to create bad content. That was why I said earlier, instead of you to focus on trying to do the bad aspect of AI, just focus on trying to make sure that AI serves you well. That's because I am actually know like a whole lot of people that AI has changed their finances just in 6 months, and that's because they started to use that tool correctly. Take for instance on YouTube, for those of you that don't know, on YouTube, YouTube pays $5,000 for 1 M views on your video. Yeah, and this actually changes from you know countries to countries. Now, there are some of us that are actually shy on camera. There are like most people that can't stand in front of a camera to say something, and that's because they are shy. But guess what? They have this zeal to show up there to put out like what they think that that could actually help 1 or 2 persons tomorrow. But then because they are shy to do these things, they cannot do it. But guess what? There are people that are creating educational content, entertainment, and what have you on YouTube. You will go there, you will go and view, you will feed your eyes, feed your soul, and guess what? They get paid from those videos. And this is this is because AI made it like like so easier for them to show up. Also, if you check platforms like Upwork, in fact, every platform that I actually use now, every tool has AI there, which helps you to do your work better and think better. Now, these are the organizations that knows that yes, AI can can be bad, but then we can still use AI to do the good part of our business. And that's what every creator like in this room should think about. What can you do with AI apart from creating content on LinkedIn, apart from the fact that you are scared that see this AI is here for destruction. No, there are people that are making tons of money off AI. Like, see, not that they told me. I am actually knowing something good with AI that are not even on LinkedIn. This is something that I want you to take time. Go to Instagram. You will see like plenty of them there. You go to those pages, you check them out, you will learn from them. See, AI has actually created more job opportunities than like like in the past 1 year that I can actually think of. So yeah, we should all try our best to find a way to pick any part of AI we think that we want to try. That's because this thing has come to stay. So yeah, good thing is that you will just get to learn how to, work with these tools, or you just stay behind. But that is not something that I wish that each of us do. Also, I was doing like a short research some time ago. Then I saw some job offers that are kind of open. Guys, like in the next 6 months, like the job offers that are going to be everywhere are not even going to be what you know or what you used to know. Like they they could ask for a like m- m- marketer that 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 has like AI skills. Now, what I'm trying to say is that instead of them to just get what they used to get before, they would ensure that you have a, a an idea of how to use AI. Now, these are some things you can do with with AI. You can actually create faceless brands with AI. I have like two there on TikTok. like Instagram and YouTube, you can also create a Teams page with AI. If you don't know what a Teams page is, you can actually take your time to just browse, check one or two things. You can also start filming or storytelling on AI, use AI tools to create these things, bring your ideas to life. And trust me, if you should post on TikTok and post on YouTube for like 6 months, 1 year, your life will change if you take it seriously. Like I don't mean post and pray and just ghost it. Like I mean take that like a job. Post good content there. Those platforms will start paying you at the right time. Now there are ways to like make cash now, good cash of AI and good cash online. You just have to have the right mindset about the tools that you are trying to use. That's also because if you go to X, like every day they cook us there on X. They cook those of us that create content on like LinkedIn. They cook us there on X. But guess what? Everything that I've actually achieved since I am actually finished NYSC in 2024, we're all on LinkedIn. But then there are those of them that don't even understand that platform. They think we just go there to just write big English, speak long English, just do anything there. But then there are people that platform has changed their life, even though there are those of them on X that cooks us like every day there. But then there are also those that don't think about the bad things that are said of that platform. They show up every day. I show up there like every day. So yeah, this is the idea of AI that I want you to have. Instead of saying that okay, AI is bad, it's going to do this, like it's going to do that. Try to check out the best way that these AI tools can help you do your job better, and also help you make some cash. So yeah, I think that's basically the little thing that I've prepared based on this AI topic that, yeah, yes, I was asked to speak on, and based on time too, I am going to
Yeah.
cut it short. So thanks for
Wow.
listening to me.
Thank you so very much for joining us. You see, AI has come to stay, and we should never see it as a threat. When I got started 4 years ago, AI was not all over the place, was not there. And I still see some of my colleagues that dropped when we got started with copywriting, back then, like close to 5 years ago now, and when we got to LinkedIn. And I'm also a testimony, I have a testimony that everything that has to do with me and everything that I've been able to point as an achievement today came as a result of LinkedIn. LinkedIn made me to make my first millions, made me to do so many great things. It got me on the plane, made me to, if not because of LinkedIn, I don't know, maybe other thing would have happened. But those are the things that actually made me to stay through with LinkedIn. And there's someone that we may mention of, which is what's the name of Haoma. Haoma Wagu was the person that got me started on LinkedIn. And this lady is an amazing, even though she's not here, I just love to tell people whenever I see great people and I have the privilege to talk about great people, I take my time to be able to, share about them. And you must understand that life on its own is difficult. So you make it difficult when you don't leverage on the things that can make it more easier for you. But before we invite our next guest speaker all the way from United States of America, Texas, I really want to share something with you. I want you to stay calm and listen to what I'm about to share with you. You know, growth is very exciting, but growth can also be overwhelming. Not because you are failing, not because you are incapable, not because you don't like expansion or not because you don't want to go, but mainly because expansion exposes everything that isn't aligned. As a founder, you probably carry vision, you carry responsibility, you carry weight most people will never see. And sometimes you don't need more strategy, you don't need more also, you don't need clarity. You need you don't need more clarity on the things that you need to do, but you need to understand how this needs to be done. You need the real clarity on how to show up, the kind that allows you to breathe again, the kind that helps you to lead from confidence instead of constant reaction. That's why we created the HugeSmile stability snapshot. This is the snapshot, a snapshot that we've actually created to be a gift for you, not as a test, not as a judgment, not as a complicated framework, but as a quiet moment of reflection. The powerful question designed to help you to see where your structure supports you and where it may be silently stretching you. Because when your structure is strong, growth feels steady. When it's weak, growth feels heavy. And leadership was never meant to feel lonely. This guide is for founders who are about building something credible, something sustainable, or who are already doing that, but they find it difficult to go to the next level. Something that lasts beyond momentum. I want you to take a few minutes, sit with it, answer it honestly. You may discover that the pressure you've been carrying has a solution. So if you are ready for clarity, no noise, get access to the Youth Mind Stability Snapshot, and just start comment with access, so that we will know that we're not sending it to just random people. Just comment with access, or we're going to drop in the comment for you that you'll be able to learn from this thing that we've been able to put together. So let this be the moment you move from reactive growth to governed growth. Growth should feel stable, and it can. It should feel stable, and it can. Please, I want to make a shout out to all of the people who have been joining us all through. All the great people. I just want to thank you for where you're joining. I want to make a big shout out to some of the new people that just joined us while we've been speaking, for like Jay Pascal, who joined us from Georgia. Thank you so much for joining us, Jay. Thank you so much for joining us. The worst lady, I want to make sure that I get the name correctly. There's somebody say LinkedIn user. Hello, my friend. I apologize for my line breakdown. Okay, there was a lady, but we couldn't see your name. But thank you so much for joining all the people that have been able to join us all the way from YouTube or the way on Facebook and other YouTube that you are watching us from. I know there are great people who has really joined us on the live, and this Asia who's are from Pakistan. We have people from India. We have them from all over the place. We have people from all over the place. And please drop in the comment. Just drop strategy or drop snapshots in the comment, and you will be able to get more structure, be able to get your hands together and get whatsoever thing you need to learn in together. While we wait for our next guest speaker, there is something that or that this lady dropped in the comments. Please join us. That this lady could join in the comments, but that was shared by Annie. It says that here's the question we should be asking: what can we utilize and maximize AI for beyond just putting out content? Think automation, filming, storytelling, data analysis, personalized predictable insights, workflow optimization, the list goes on. Are we tapping into even half of what is possible? That's the question. Are you releasing? And I do tell people that AI is as good as the person using it. AI is as good as the person using it. Do you understand? The AI is as good as the person using it. You must understand that if you have not mastered your skill, you don't know what you are doing as a copywriter, you don't know what you are doing as a content writer, you don't know what you're doing as a public speaker, you've not mastered your skill, you've not understand how it works, you will not be able to leverage this thing, because it's a tool that is mandated that you leverage. It's a tool mandated that everyone leverage. If you do not leverage the power of AI where we are today, you will find it difficult to get to the next level that you need to get to. So I'm just going to pause it there because we have our guest speaker all the way from Texas, who I work with currently, and when I spoke to her on Thursday that this is what we are doing as a team, this is what we are bringing to the table, and she was like, "Oh, Mr. Toby, I'm going to be here. I'm going to, come out and share with us about system and structure and how are we being able to help people grow. What have I been able to do?" From the time she met, I remember when she met with me, when we got to know ourselves, she was like, "I've been burnt because many people have promised to do a lot of things. They have promised to do so many things, but they do nothing at the end of the day without wasting our time." You see, Lady Lola is someone I respect so much. I've learned so much from her, even by working with her. I've learned so very much from her about my finance, and I see how I've been more frugal with the things I do, how I now approach finance from another perspective, how I don't spend it all anymore like the way it used to be, right? So you must understand that as much as you are making so much money does not really mean that you'll be wealthy. There are things that world builder think, that's the way they think, and that way that people who actually settle for less, who at the end of the day do not have anything to show for what they have, that way they think. And welcome with me, Lady Lola, and fondly call Lola Wealth. Please, with a round of applause, they welcome with whatsoever thing you can find. Please welcome Mama on the stage, and thank you so much for accepting to be part of this thing, even though I never told you until Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, the mic is yours.
Absolutely. I hope everyone is hearing me okay.
Oh, yes, we can.
Good, good. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, anywhere and everywhere you are joining us from. Thank you so much, Mr. Toby, for having me here. I'm super excited to be part of what you're doing. This is great. I would say this is great. When you told me on Thursday, was it Thursday or I can't remember the day now. When you shared with me, and I was like, yes, I would love to be part of it because that is what I'm known for. I'm known for supporting. I'm known for elevating. I'm known for sharing the credibility because guess what? It is Him, God, who has given us the ability, to make wealth, to be supportive. So anywhere, everywhere we are right now, guess what? It is God's grace. So I acknowledge Him and I give all the glory back to God. So thank you so much, everyone, for a lot of us that have been here for over 1 hour, 2 hours, because I've been in and out joining. And I want to say thanks also to all the speakers that have been here, sharing their thoughts, sharing their leadership, their thought leadership as well, sharing your nugget insight. I want to say thank you so much for giving back to us and also promoting this initiative. God bless every one of you. So without taking any more of our time, I want to say thank you so much. If you have not met me, my name is Omolola Oyewumi. Most people know me as Lola Wealth, and I'm fondly called Lola Wealth. So congratulations to Mr. Toby, and of course to HugeSmile team on this official launch. This is really incredible. Launching, as you know, is not just a small thing. It's really a big deal. It takes vision, it takes courage, it takes consistency, and it takes the gut, for you to say, yeah, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want to do. And you rally a troop around it, and you cast the vision. It's called vision casting. And for you to be able to say, okay, yeah, let's go building your team. So I want to say congratulations to the team and to you too, Mr. Toby. So I am a wealth system architect. I am a retired at 40, an ex-Microsoft leader. And what I'm known for is helping professionals build systems. And you know that without system, guess what? It is stressful. And whether it is money you're building, whether it is media, or whether you are building your online presence, the principle is key and is the same everywhere. Structure creates stability and eventually create trust. And I want you to write this down. If you are writing anything down, if you are jotting, and I know for a lot of us that are taking notes, your notes should be full by now, right? So I want you to really write this down, because if you are thinking of taking your business, taking your side gig, taking your small business to the next level, it requires you to be consistent. It requires your structure to be solid. And this is what is going to create stability. Whatsoever you're building, then that stability creates trust. So let me give you one big idea on one sentence. If your online presence has no system, and this is what HugeSmile is helping me, my team, Alola Wealth, they are helping us build as well. Even while I am helping professional build system, I help them build wealth operating system, different kind of system when it comes to their money, their personal finances and businesses. But what HugeSmile also help us to do, helping you create that online presence. If you don't have a system, it will not scale. You will not even grow, not to talk of scaling. And people will not trust you. You know what? People will not even trust what they can't understand. People will not trust what they can't see consistently. So building that structure, and I'm going to be sharing 3 things which is going to really help you as you're coming out of this program, something that will stay with you even as you grow your online presence, even for years to come, because you will always come back to it. It might be simple, but if you are consistent, building that structure is really going to help you. So when people ask, how do I grow online? My answer is always build structure in 3 areas. The first one, your message structure. And I know me and Toby, we have done some, programs together where, I brought him as well into my, to come and speak to our audience around building that structure when it comes to their online presence. And for a lot of us that are still going to watch this even afterwards, and maybe you're not live here with us, guess what? You're still going to go back to this resource, to this program, and then go and learn and understand the basic foundation when it comes to establishing your online presence, or you want to grow it or take it to the next level by scaling it. Your message structure is important. Your content structure is important. And then the third one is conversion structure. And trust me, if you're an entrepreneur, or you are a CEO, you're a founder, you're a coach, you're a consultant, and you're building your online presence, there are going to be so many shiny objects. These apps, this thing, this coaching, everything will always come like a good program. Because I will tell you, I'm always distracted. What HugeSmile have helped me do is help me come back to my focus, clarity, come back. This is what we are trying to achieve. That conversion structure is very key, because it's not just for you to go and chase this new shining object or new shiny program. What happens when people like your content? That is what we are doing. We are getting visibility. We are getting online. People are seeing us. But what happens when people like your content? Where do they go next? This is what HugeSmile is helping me. Even though we have a structure, they will help you fine-tune it. They will help you take it to the next level. If there is no clear step, attention doesn't turn into opportunity. And guess what? We want opportunity. Every business owner wants to make profit. Take it or leave it. We are not here to do a charity organization. Even for people who are doing non-profits, guess what? They are looking for money. They are looking for funding. So we are not here to do, for a business owner, you want to make profit. And every attention must turn to opportunity for you to convert. So that conversion structure is very important. But here's the simple structure. Anyone today, if you're on this call, you can take with you starting from this weekend. It's called the 333 structure. And I will tell you, please write it down. I am using this myself, and I know Mr. Toby and their team are really helping us. And of course, we do more than 3-3, but when I said the foundation of how you can start today, because we're talking about that structure, I'm sharing my own testimonial working with Mr. Toby, working with a HugeSmile, right? And this is how we started. 333 framework. First of all is pick 3 content pillar. What do you want to be known for? Be clear. That clarity is important. I'm going to talk about clarity shortly. But clarity, pick 3 content pillar. The second 3, I said it's 333 framework. The first 3 is pick 3 content pillar. What you want to be known for. Even if you already known it, drill it down to a niche. The second 3 is choose 3 repeatable post type. Either you're doing a story, you're doing teaching, you're doing proof, you're doing what's it called? Whatsoever content you think about. Have a repeatable post type. It could be day in the life of, it could be throwbacks. There are so many ideas that can come when it comes to post type, but be consistent with 3 and then continue to repeat it. Then the last 3, is post 3 times per week. This is not a lot at all, I will tell you. When Mr. Toby say, let's be posting every day, we're like, every day, where do I see content? But when you have the structure and you know that, okay, 3 times in a week, this is what I need to do, guess what? It's going to be easy for you. Ideas will come. So when you do those 3 things, you are going to at least have that foundation of that structure that you already have. Pick 3 content pillar, choose 3 repeatable post type that you want, and then post 3 times per week. That's a system. And that system, if you do it consistently for the next 90 days, guess what? You are building momentum. A lot of these people that you see go viral, it's not that their content is new like that. It's just because they are consistent. And that is what I am working on. That is what HugeSmile is helping me do, to stay focused, not to be running after shining objects. And I'm being transparent here because it happens to the best of us. All right. So before you go, let me share with you why I am here supporting HugeSmile. What I respect about this team is that they don't just, help you achieve this work, help you establish your online presence. They just don't help you get to the next level in terms of your metrics. What are you measuring? How many clicks? How many posts? How many reach? How many impression? Whatsoever your own metric is, because that is what they will work with you on. What do you want to achieve? So they just don't help you achieve that alone. Guess what? They help you build structure around your brand, either personal, which I would say your personal brand first, and then your business, so that your online presence becomes more professional, more consistent, and more clear. People will know you for one thing. That one, I am so 100% sure that they will help you drill down. Even if you are multi-talented, for a lot of us, someone like me, a lot of you are multi-talented, multi-potential, but they will help you in terms of, let's get one clear first. And then you can branch out into many other things that you are. All right. So in my own experience working with them for Lola Wealth, for my personal brand and all of that, establishing my own social media presence, they support in 3 ways. I like 3. I've been talking about 3. Then the first one is that clarity, which I've talked to you about. Clarity, they help you tighten it, your brand, what it looks like, help you tailor it to your message. Your visual is going to match your message, right? It's going to do that. Clarity is very important. Then that consistency, do you see? It comes down to that consistency that is going to help you create that momentum. And it's a reading. How often do you want to get online? Do you want to be consistent? Because there are some days that you will not feel like it. There are some days that your mood, you are just so tired, or you've traveled, you are on plane, you are coming back, and you're like, I don't want to think about it today. But once you work with them, they help you create that consistency. Do you see? So no matter how busy you are or your week is, they will help you create that. And then the third thing that where they show up, where HugeSmile will show up for you, is the execution. And I give this one to Mr. Toby. Is always paying attention to details. And that execution is 100%. I'll give it to him, right? Their team have been also hands-on, they're supportive, and the positioning, that is what you want. They will help you in terms of your positioning. And then one last thing, they follow through. That's one I know I'm struggling. A lot of us, we are struggling. We'll start something, we'll not end it. We'll start something, we'll not finish it. We'll start something and so many things, we'll get distracted. It's not what we want. But guess what? Life is lifing. Life is lifing. So they'll help you in terms of narrowing, follow through, and help you achieve. So HugeSmile will help you bring that structure to your business. If you are watching this, if you're a founder, if you're an agency, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a professional, whatsoever, please, your brilliance deserves a system. Your excellent work, your what do I call it? Ethics, your side gig, your brilliance, your side also your business deserve a system. You can be excellent and still be invisible online if you don't have a structure that people can recognize and trust. Let me say that again. You can be brilliant, you can know so much, you can solve any problem, but you will remain invisible online if you don't have a structure that people can recognize. You must be foundable and people must trust you. So HugeSmile is going to really help you with this. My encouragement is simple. If you want any online presence that builds trust and helps your audience, and you and your audience, if you want them to be if you want them to see you clearly, connect with HugeSmile team today. So I want to say congratulations again to Mr. Toby and team, and thank you so much for having me.
It's such a great privilege to have you. And it's not all people that can be like, oh, this person, I like what you're doing. I know you always tell me, trust me, I believe what you're doing. I love the thing you're doing for me. Many people says that, but they don't come out and be like, oh, I don't want to be associated. What if he doesn't do this? What if he doesn't do that? But I really want to appreciate you, for actually coming out to telling the world what we can actually do for them, right? It's not like we are just fresh starts like that. No, like it's something we've been doing, And one of my team member who does my graphics is somebody that I always shout about him to everybody. I have the best team. Some of them, the way they even shows up, the way they do everything, I just feel like, wow, I really appreciate how they do all of the things that they've been doing, and I do not take it for granted. So I want to use this moment to appreciate you for being part of this, for showing up, for even out of your busy schedule, woman doing? What's happening? What is she doing now? Sometimes we even fight. Do you get? I'll be like, this we need to do. Do you get? I'm just telling you guys that sometimes you may be like you are good, huh? You only know little, right? You may be like you're good, but you only know a little until you bring some other people to you. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunities to work with you. And I'm sure that we'll get somewhere better, somewhere amazing as we are going on. But let me just pause it right there. If you not get the snapshot, thank you, Annie. He said he has gotten the huge man snapshot. Get the snapshot. In fact, get the snapshot. It will help you. It's something we sit down and craft out. It's not like something we just be. It's something we craft out of experience, out of the things we've been able to do, and without wasting any much of our time again. Because I think we've spent 2 hours down the line, and this is a very, very long event to us. This is a very, very, very long one, and then we are waiting to have someone on the go. Please, before I actually say that, could you please give a round of applause to Lady Lola in the comment, and make sure you connect with all of our speakers. Find them on LinkedIn, connect with them. Go and see. I can attest to Lady Lola's content. Go and read the content. There's a lot of things it will do for you about finance. Go and read it. Go and read it. Go to our this thing and follow through. In fact, just with the content alone, you can learn so much. So let's tell her in the comment. I will thank you so very much. And we really appreciate your time. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you showing up for us. May the Lord bless you. And I just want to appreciate everyone who has followed through, who has joined us from the beginning of this life, since the beginning of this life to this moment that we are now, we want to appreciate each and every one of you who has joined us. As a matter of fact, it's not easy for you to be in a room for 2 hours plus. For you to be in a room for 2 hours plus is a very, very huge thing. And without any of wasting of our time, without any other story or anything that we are sharing again, I would like to welcome our last but an amazing, a superpower woman. You know, when I tell people about Dr. Vivian, and people say, "Oh, Dr. Vivian, that woman, she's huge, she's this, she's that," and I'll be like, "This lady has been on my WhatsApp for a long time. We've been connected for a long time. How come I've not been engaging her? How come I've not been, understand?" And guess what? When I try to know who she is, when I try to go into what she does, I know that Dr. Vivian, she's a powerful person. She is a very powerful person. And today we are going to be learning. In fact, when she finish, we finish. When she's done with that, we are done for tonight. Without any issue, let me introduce her to us. Dr. Vivian is a LinkedIn monetization coach, brand strategist, and international influencer with over 2 decades of experience spanning marketing, medicine, and business development. After nearly 20 years in marketing and retail, she transitioned from practicing medicine to empowering professionals and entrepreneurs to monetize their expertise. Through her proven roadmap to LinkedIn monetization, she has helped over 800 clients transform raw ideas into profitable business within 30 days. That is huge. Dr. Magnus has trained 5,000 plus professionals, hosted 120 plus transformational program, founded Bonix Gates Group. She leads a global community focused on focused on community building, business coaching, and public health innovation. Our mission is to help professional founders and creators build clarity, authority, and strategies to convert feasibility into sustainable seven-figure businesses. Please, with love emoji, with everything you can find, can we please make welcome Dr. Vivian, powerful woman. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Visual Lots of HugeSmile. And thank you so much for being part of this amazing show tonight. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Already be can go.
We can't hear you. Hello. We
Can you hear
cannot.
me right now? I think you should be able to hear me now.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, thank you very much, my amazing Toby Loba, for bringing me on board. I'm super excited. In fact, somewhere in my mind, I was just hoping and wishing that I was going to be among the last persons. And I would say it again that anybody who is probably going to be on this live stream, you'll be hearing a lot of things that will literally change your trajectory. Most times I don't like sharing everything that I'm going to talk about today. Trust me, I'm not comfortable sharing them out there because those are the things that should be monetized, and I'm a monetization strategist, for God's sake. So there are certain things you shouldn't give out freely. Yes, and it's just how it works, else people might not take you so seriously. So that's exactly um what I'm going to be sharing today. But I want to thank everyone for coming in so far. I listened from the first person down to Dr. Any. I'll call anybody. I'll call you guys Dr. Martha, and then my systems woman, and a whole lot of persons. I was trying to follow, but Saturdays are usually not a free day for me. But anything for the amazing Oluwatobiloba. So quickly, I'm going to be speaking on remote businesses, and I love what my brother had said. I think it was Otega, talking about the remote work, and I love the fact that he was able to, speak on it from the empathy point of view. I mean, how creators should creators and business owners should have ecosystems literally where they there's some form of empathy. Everybody knows what is going on, but also presenting HugeSmile as that platform that will be able to ensure that you're smiling irrespective of how the remote work system works. So I'm going to talk a little bit about remote businesses as I promised. First off, before I showed up on LinkedIn, right, I'm going to give you guys, everyone here, just maybe a quick story. Let me see how much time I can squeeze in some of the things I have. Initially, when I showed up on LinkedIn, like I said, I had in mind to practice medicine remotely. But when I saw all the systems and everything I needed to do, I had to check back because anything I want to do, I would want to be able to, do it at the highest level. That's how my mind works. If I'm doing anything, it should be at the highest level. I should be able to practice in the United States, UK, effortlessly. But unfortunately, in medicine, it doesn't work that way. Right. And this is for me now talking to people who want to start remote businesses. So, what was the next thing I had to do? I went back to my low hanging fruit. So, like he read, I've done over 2 decades in businesses because I was literally born in sales and marketing. In fact, all my life, for us in Nigeria, you don't get to choose, you want to go and work somewhere else. That was not the story for me and my parents. It was basically once you're done from school, you go to the market, you learn the act of negotiation, you learn to speak, the whole buyer journey, the whole emotions associated. So I literally learned the raw form of sales and marketing and the shameless sales and marketing. So it made me literally very, very shame. I'm a very shameless person, God knows. For those people who are probably meeting me for the first time. So this is my basic journey. And then when I noticed that, okay, if I want to insist medicine, I won't be able to practice, except the next closest thing was medical virtual assistant. And medical virtual assistant still has boards. Like if you want to practice at the highest level where you be recognized, you still would have to do years and years of boards. And then of course I had kids. So I needed to just pay attention to my career break. I'm saying this now because there are lots of people who are probably in a fixed place now. That means you don't even know how to be career agile. That means you don't know how to quickly just transform yourself. You just experienced a shocker. Maybe you left your job with the hope that you're going to start one business. So I'm going to be speaking to remote businesses from the ground up. That's what literally I'm going to try to achieve this night. Even if we don't achieve it now, definitely we'll have another class or another event where we'll just continue from where we stopped. So like I said again, just imagine you probably just experienced some form of crossroad. Most people will scream remote work because you probably have not achieved some form of clarity, so you're wondering what to do. I'm going to tell us how I was able to transform my life through remote business, but the framework I used was entirely different. It's not the regular remote business framework, and I call it the remote work ecosystem. This is me calling it because that was literally what I eventually experienced. So, one of the things I would admonish anybody who is probably on a crossroad right now, maybe you've just been fired, you're looking for an opportunity, try business, right? Try business. The reason why I'm saying this is because most times, right, you might not have all the skills requisite to serve people in what you think you have been called to, or your professionalism, or what your profession or your expertise can open doors for you for. So we're saying this because we know that there are lots of people who are literally battling with imposter, but it's simple. Whatever you can do to help yourself, you can literally do it to help other people. And just like what um Ortega said, right? Basically, from the business owner point of view, everybody wants to have their problem solved. So now you have the expertise, but your expertise is not relevant at that time T for a platform. Try business. So now I've just moved from encouraging people who are probably just wondering what to do. Now I'm moving straight to people who already have these businesses, right? Who already have these businesses. And I've seen a whole lot of business owners struggle on LinkedIn. It's a whole lot of things. People will come tell you things like, oh, if you just have visibility, you're going to have a whole lot of sales. And everybody, you're pumping money to a community manager who only just announces, who doesn't understand the wiring and the soul of what you're building. You know, they just keep telling you, oh, you need to post at this time, oh, you need to get more engagements. Now you probably have an influencer influencing your business, and now you have like hundreds of likes and comments and no revenue. That is where we're coming at HugeSmile. So we're saying this because a lot of people just do remote work. So you hire a community manager and they just come, and all they feel is they're probably just going to just sending things to the group, or they keep asking you, what else am I going to do? That's not what we are expecting, that you should expect for the huge smile. We are a brand centric organization. In this sense, I mean, okay, when you're building, I'm going to give us a quick framework. That's the ecosystem framework. I don't know where I'm going to stop, but I will stop as soon as my time is up. Anywhere we see again, like I said, everything I'm saying here is not something I actively tell people because I'm doing this because of my brother, right? So it's actually my my paid class conversations, because if you can gain if you can gain clarity at all, you will know exactly what paths or ways your business need to go next. So I said it again, it's possible that you're having that visibility, and those people, those businesses that are seeing you are not businesses that can pay you what you're looking for. And then for some founders, you hardly have reach. Selfishness, I think um it was Mr. Annie that was talking about it. You know, a lot of businesses have been built in some form of, I'll call it the egocentric, maybe this is me speaking all the grammars I know, right? Egocentric, that's, or person based. Sometimes in some other refined ways, we call it solopreneur because we're hoping that, okay, maybe AI will replace every other form. But unfortunately, I have noticed, like I said, some of the things I'm sharing here, I don't tell people often. I've noticed a very huge shift in the sense that when you are building anything at all, a business, we have literally moved from, there was a season on LinkedIn everywhere. Everybody keeps talking about the personal brand. If you build a personal brand, then you can monetize. But from the monetization point of view, I can tell you that if the architecture of your business didn't put revenue from the get-go, you're literally going to be leaving lots of money on the table. So people are going to be seeing you, but they will not know what to pay you for. You're going to be all over the place. And trust me, even if you made some form of money, it will never be compared to when you have your, like I think my sister shared earlier, your systems, your structures, and then not just systems and structures built for facade or like for beauty and for glory. It is systems built for retention, system built for an ecosystem. So that's basically the framework I'm going to be teaching tonight. So first things first, you pay attention to your low hanging fruits. If you're a business owner, just like what I think Odafe said, one of the first things you want to do is when you're building a business, you should have some form of expertise in the line of that business. It's going to help you a lot because, of course, things can come up and things. It's possible that someone who is supposed to take care of something, just like Annie was saying, that it's possible that some people in your team might not even properly, say, okay, this is what this person is doing. And then something happens and they all disappear and you can't really hold someone. And then it's between you and your client. You want to avoid that as much as possible, which is part of the things that we'll be working with you to help you do. So strengthening your expertise, which is the ecosystem. I'll start with the E. Your expertise must be as good as possible. So you don't just start businesses you don't have any idea on. And there are many ways to get expertise. Of course, you get better by doing. There's no level of growth that cannot come outside execution. So if you don't execute as often, if you don't get to work with more people, you're not going to get good. So what we normally would say is if you're transitioning from expertise to business, we always admonish that if you build from the community point of view, I'm already going to my next conversation, right? You're likely going to have a lot of test kitchen. So when I had made this summary of my, my speaker portfolio, I think that speaker portfolio was ready like December, I think no, November. I didn't November, October. I had just, worked with 800 people. But as of presently, like currently, I already have almost 1,500 people in my community. And I'm telling you because this is a new move. I don't know if this is your grade, but I just hope that somebody maybe somewhere will just pick up something from some of my conversations, and it will happen. I believe it so much. Okay, so as saying this, you move from your expertise. The next thing is to find a community, build a community of people. There's something I call the authority flywheel, right? Being able to position yourself properly, strengthen your results, communicate your expertise with clarity, making people come to you because of every good thing that has been happening. And I say it again, use the community as a test kitchen for monetization. The first few seasons where you are working with some of these people, money is never really, you'll be shocked, money is never really the biggest deal. And I think I heard Toby Loba said that over and over again at the beginning. Money is really not the biggest deal. The biggest deal is, paying attention to your testimonials, paying attention to the people you're working with, paying attention to some of the errors you're going to make, paying attention to your documentation. Every single part of it, you want to make sure that you are documenting excellently. You don't lose even one thing. Okay, so we're being able to achieve that right through the community. The community is like a test kitchen. Everything in your expertise, you work with maybe the first 100 people, you get result, document, you launch out for more people. Depending on, at this point, if you're working with us at the Huge Smile, we will give you a time when we will want you to pivot, because it's simple, right? It's simple. You now are working with us because we made all the errors you are supposed to make in your businesses. So the next thing we do is the offers, or the offers. I usually call it the Yes, offers over products. So one of the things I notice with most business owners is that every time they churn up something, maybe they just a book, they will write a book, and then you're probably trying to pressure people to just get those materials. No, that's not how it works. For a business, you want to make sure that your offers are as community centric as possible. I said it again, as community centric as possible. There's something I call the offer triangle. So it means that, first of all, your product is like the least, it's not even the main thing you should be communicating to people. First P is you talk about their problems, because that is where everyone wants some form of solution. Then the next P we're going to talk about is that we now talk about the promises, because if we know that there's a problem, which is everything we've been talking from beginning to now, for these clients, for this business founder, or whoever your ICPs are, we have something that will help you. If you're currently here, oh god, the time is so short, right? But if you're here and you still don't understand the kind of people you serve, please reach out to Tobiloba. We're going to help you curate that excellently, right? We're going to help you curate that excellently. So let's say that you now have a problem. For me, I would always say, for my community, I say it over and over again, lead with a problem. It's better you find a problem than find a passion you want to push. So for some people in that over triangle, it might be their passion. Passion is from the I usually add passion and thought leadership together, because one of the things I notice is that it's possible that you're fascinated about something, but that's not really what other people like. But then there are other channels of monetization across all other social media platform. For me, based on the positioning of LinkedIn, the LinkedIn algorithm, I don't know if I'm so comfortable for people to continuously build here from the passion point of view. Yes, you can show up on LinkedIn maybe 3 times, 4 times a week, like posts. You can host live events as often as possible. But most people who are passionate, I always like them to build on the larger, platforms that has more of the numbers, where people will just celebrate you for just showing up, because there's something that is different about you. There's something different from your conversation. So I admonish you, make sure you have a YouTube channel, make sure you have a Facebook channel, which is part of some of the packages I'm sure that HugeSmile will help you, generate those copies, maybe write those video contents and all that. Those are how to build your business. If your business is passion led, then you need traffic. Well, let me just see where I can stop. Some of this conversation, like I said, I don't tell people often because it's not something I'm happy to share because it's literally my money that is going out, right? So if you're a passionate person, you need a whole lot of traffic. You need to build on other platforms where they traffic, but LinkedIn is the ultimate headquarters for knowledge. ultimate headquarters for excellence. So it's better. One of the things you do is you maintain relationships on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's relationship is super deep, and it will pivot your businesses into institution as fast as possible compared to all other systems. Relationships on YouTube is so caged. You hardly bond with people there. On Facebook, you hardly bond with people there, except your business. You're building an influencer led business, and the only way to pivot as an influencer led business, of course, your systems, your excellence, your storytelling, all those other things, like we said, we will explain when you're ready to come on board. That's why part of the offers tonight is that you take the free book. At the free book, you'll be able to get a clarity roadmap that we will all come from the backstage. We'll audit your business. We'll be able to tell you where we can help you with. If you're somebody who probably don't even have any form of visibility at all, don't worry, we'll walk you through that part. But then if you already achieved some form of visibility that has literally lack or reproducible revenue, we'll be able to walk you from that other end as well to generate building a system that will cost money to consistently come into your business. So as I was talking about, you deciding on, so I talked about the 3 P's. I talk products, and then I said I talk problems more than I talk passion. But yes, it's still the same model when you're trying to build your offers. If you want to be a passionate person, I told you that you need more audience, and therefore you should go for the larger communities. And I mean, build on other social media platforms that are very video centric. If you are a passionate person and your passion is not cannot really be found outrightly in most business models, go for it. Do a lot of, you want people to be watching literally every day. So for those people who can do Twitch, for those people who do live stream as part of telling stories and all that, that is it. So I'll say again, problem stroke passion. Passion is you are just passionate about something. You don't care if it solves a problem, but you just want to share. But for me, when I want to measure a business growth, I make sure that it's solving a problem, except you want to follow another path. So we go from the problem, then we said what the product, and then we now see we said the promises, then the product. So we make a promise, then we show you what you can use to to gain all this that we're talking about, or to alleviate your problem, and then help you, you know take you from A to C or from A to Z, depending on all the promises we're making to you specifically. So I'll repeat again. So far, I've been able to talk about the first conversation. I said in the ecosystem framework, one of the first things we want to do is to pay attention to your expertise. But if you're just a passionate person and you just want to share your storytelling person, everything is all there. The only thing you want to do is, rebrand yourself, right? But make sure that the next conversation, see, you carry your community along. The beauty of community is that it gives you a test kitchen. A lot of us host live events, a lot of us have been building online, but we can't even be proud of an email list. We don't even own our audience. Like, we literally just show up when we want to show up, but then we can't really access them in different places. Now, I don't know how many people who can say that they have up to 10,000 people on their email lists, and you have 28,000 followers, you have 30,000 followers. That means you're literally building your business on a borrowed ground. So those are part of the things that every business owner, like we said, working with a HugeSmile, will be able to start repositioning from you. Then, of course, when life events are held, there are certain parameters that must be answered. After events, we literally have to see and say what this event was supposed to build at time T of of after the live. What was the aim? What did we get? How do we go back? How do we reframe our stories, our conversations, and for what purpose? So for the purpose of this night, I think I have gotten to my time. Tobilaba, just come up. Like I told you, some of the things I'm sharing. I want you people to come into the huge smile proper, so that we can discuss a whole lot of this. I just had to share a little bit of this conversation. I don't know how my network is, just so that everyone will know that we have prepared for you all. So if you're a business owner who has been consistently having problems with how you show up, that means how you talk to your clients, you don't even know who your clients are, or you are just thinking of transitioning into, business, or you are looking at scaling your business, well, you're welcome to the Huge Smile, because this is exactly what we are going to be doing. And like I promised, we'll be working backstage with Toby Laba. Everything. All you have to do, take on our free gifts this night. Then we will come backstage. We'll have lots of clarity meetings with you and then pivot you to your dream revenue. Thank you so much for bringing me on board, Toby Loba. I am
Wow.
excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you. Honestly, like I'm overwhelmed with the love of everyone, like from all over the place. I'm just so shocked. Like this could be like this. In fact, like a place of Martha Odafi, I remember like I've connected with you, I've not been talking to you, I've not been having relationship with you. That one is still like, okay, it's a big sister stuff, let me leave this boy alone. Do you get? And all of those things. But see these other people that I don't even have any power relationship with, I don't have anything with them in the end. The moment I said that, and guess what? These are people that are making real life, that are making it. These are people that have made something huge out of their life. And guess what? Some people that that somewhere that they think that that's where it's supposed to be. Those are people that decline. People like you, I really want to appreciate everyone for joining because we've actually take time. Do you get it? We take time. And let me tell you, we have every Saturday program, which I call System and Structure Saturday. SSS, the 3S. It's going to be a banger both on YouTube and LinkedIn, and we can expand to other platforms like Facebook as soon as possible too. But from next week Saturday, I've spoken to some of our amazing creators that was going to be joining us. I love collaboration. I love learning from people, and to be honest, I bowed in my heart to you today, Dr. Vivian. I've heard a lot of things about you. You've told me that, oh, this, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to go to this lady. What's she going to say? And here we are today. And really want to appreciate everyone. To everybody who is still, I think Martha said she has to go. But to everybody who are still in the room, like I can't imagine that. But that is still stay true all the way from the beginning. I think it was the second speaker that spoke. He still stayed true. Like I really want to appreciate each and everyone who has joined us on this live stream. If you've not take the snapshot, you have to take it right now. Take it right away. Fill in the gap. Do everything you need to give. This is what we've got for you. Even we are still bringing it next week for you to be able to learn everything and get to the next level. And guess what? Dr. Vivian, as she has promised, is going to be working with us on the ground because when I see greatness, I recognize greatness. It takes great person to be able to recognize what is great. When I listen to, I know, this is great. This is great. And I'm so happy that you were able to join us. Thank you so much for making out your time, a mother, and everything. You are everything, and we really appreciate it. I want to appreciate you, Mr. Enin. That way, my brother. You see, this relationship continues. Now I have a now
I have
very good
missed
friend.
Dr. Annie. Sorry, let me greet him. I've missed.
So we
Good
can do
evening
a lot
from
of
my end of the world.
How are you doing, Dr. Vivian? It's been a long time. Too long.
Yes,
Too
yes.
long. You know,
It's been too
we must
long.
talk.
Like, yes, we
We
need
must
to.
talk.
We have to. Yes, we have to.
We
Hi,
will.
Odafi.
We
Thank
will.
you so much. Thank
Hello,
you so much.
Vivian. Dr. Vivian, forgive me. Mm.
No, it's fine.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet everyone. Dr. Annie, I learned from your session.
I tell you, like, keep wishing me to be
Learned
a
so
doctor,
much.
please. Amen.
I
Let's hope. Okay, nah, someone gives me the
think
award
me too,
one
I'm
day.
going to do my PhD. I think until
Yeah,
I get my PhD, I'm not stopping.
I
Because
just
until I
I
get my
want an honorary one. I don't want to do the
absolutely
work that
perfect.
I don't want to do the work that badly. Like Dr. Vivian is a proper doctor. I'm saying I want someone to say, "Oh, Annie, you did so well. You've helped so many people. Have the award." Then I'll be really happy. But otherwise, I might have to
It's
work for it below, maybe one day. One day. We'll see.
Thank you so much, everyone. Like, this is so amazing. I'm so super excited. I'm excited because when you see people that support you, when you see people that choose to be part of what you're doing and they choose to cheer you on, I just made me to remember when I'm getting started from a room and where we are today. I did not even dream of it that it's going to come faster than I expected like this. It came very fast. And imagine you now meet with someone who already walked through this path. Do you get? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you are in a room where you're with people who have made the mistake. We've gone through the issues. We've understand how this thing works. I feel I've got people, I've got sacked. Even when I expected that money is coming and all of those things, I've tasted the bad, I've tasted the good. Yet we not be where we want to be. But honestly, associating, when Lady Lola came on board. This is somebody I've worked with for a couple of months now. And I can tell you that when I say I do, honestly. And you're going to be seeing more of my content now on LinkedIn. I think it's high time that I share more content. It's high time that I come out of the show. Like, I'm just always at the background. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And now the team is all right. We have built one and it's all over the place. And you will be seeing amazing people. We are not burying any team. This is where to shine. This is where to shine, and we are going to shine all together. Thank you so much for supporting me all the way, Mr. Enin. Everyone would that feel like, I just respect your kind of person. I respect you so much. And I can tell you guys, I've learned a whole lot of things from you guys. I've learned a lot of things from you guys, and it is amazing. So amazing. How can somebody be a medical doctor, be in a business, be this, be that, and all of these things? If you know any Mr. Stanley that joined us, Stanley Greening. Stanley is a wonder. He's our, like, he's the real Odogu, he's the real MVP. Like, he's all at this top. These are somebody that have made multiple millions of dollars, that have made things happen for themselves, and yet they still come out to support and to saying that, oh, these people that are coming up, let's support them. He's still sharing testimonial of how we've been able to help. These are people that we close deal for. We've done this for them, and it's not about like we want to say that we've done it, we did this. It's because we have the result that we've done. And if you really want to grow your business, get the snapshots. Please drop the snapshots in the comment back, and we're going to make sure we reach out to you. You get the snapshots and join us on the 3S on Saturday. The 3S, the System and Structure Saturday has started, and this is orchestrated by HugeSmile. HugeSmile has come here to stay, to give you all of this, to make sure this thing grow, to make sure that we help you in such a way we are able to help you. I have my experience to my extent, but I have bosses. One of them is Dr. Viva, one of them is Annie. These are people that when they are talking to you in the background, when they are talking to you, like, your head will be banging, you will be feeling. I remember Mr. Henny speaking to me one day like that, and the second day I see a couple of things I've been able to do. Do you understand? So you will have to understand that all of these things that we are saying it because we care about you. We love you. Everybody that I've met with me, my clients, my students, my friends, even the team, I love everyone. I just care about your growth. I just want to see you grow. That is it. And that's why we're able to even attract these amazing people with us. I really appreciate everyone. I'm going to engage. This relationship continues. It continues with Dr. Vivian, to Daphne, to Martha. I've had a solid relationship with Mr. Enid all the way. And I really appreciate everyone. This is where we're going to be pegging it tonight. Let's just peg it here that we've done so amazingly well. And welcome to HugeSmile. You are about to smile in a huge way because we care about you more than what you can give to us, because we give more than we even receive from you. Yeah, when the leader last spoke about it, we give more than we even receive. Money is just a little time. This is not when we are looking for our urgent 2K anymore. This is when we are looking for the urgent 100,000 or $200 that we quickly want to use to feed or put food on our table. I think we've actually scaled more than that. Whether I do use my, it's not about the feeding anymore now. So when you see someone when it's not about the money, I think working with that person could be the best thing that will happen to your business. And we have come to give you system and structure. And this is HugeSmile. You are about to smile huge. Because before we go, allow Any to give us his last share, followed by Odafe, then our amazing Dr. Vivian. Then we're going to be handing it tonight over to you, Dr.
That's
Any.
I'll tell you, Doctor. I'll take it. Like I say, no, thank you. Like, congratulations to Beloba. It is amazing when you see a dream, a vision become reality. That's the biggest, greatest thing in the world, if you ask me, right? I think we can all dream. We have to believe we can do it. But unless we actually do it counts for nothing, right? And I say all that because I grew up in Nigeria, and I look around and I see many of our brothers and sisters don't believe they can. They really don't think they can. They think being in Africa has means that they are destroyed already. It's not true. Dr. Vivian, Dafe, you, Tobaloba, prove that we can do whatever we want to do from wherever we are. Truly believe in yourself and go for it. That's my message today, my friend.
Believe in yourself and go for it, right? That's the message right there. Take it home. Odafe, who has done over 80 works on Upwork. Imagine, isn't that incredible? Isn't that so amazing? Like, I cannot see greatness and do as if I did not see it, because I know what it takes to get to somewhere. I know what it takes. I came from minus zero. I tell you guys, I came from minus zero, and I know what it means. You get to be somewhere that we are today. It's not easy. It is not an easy task. So, Odafe, what do you have for us as a last share on the show tonight, please?
Um, I'm going to speak as a listener and as a speaker, because I stayed from beginning to end because I looked up all the fellow speakers, and I wanted to hear what everyone had to say, and I was not at all disappointed. Um, the thing about growing in this computer-based world, I don't think people use computer anymore because it's a one big connection done by computers. Now we have them in phones and all that. So there's a big server somewhere that makes all of this work, right?
Oh my God, my dear Nigerian network.
To care.
It worked for
You guys
nearly
to care.
three
The
hours.
client
Come
has
on
to
now.
care. The freelancer, the remote worker has to care. So that would help. That's the fastest way to grow. One thing I've learned that I've noticed that clients that become my friends, not like they become friends and they stop paying me, but clients that I've worked with and then they trust me. They last longer. They don't only last, they refer more people. Like I've gotten 10 clients from one person before. Like I've had one person because we became friends. Like they forget, like I forget, there's a particular client I have right now. I've forgotten who I met her from because what I did, we struck a deal that made us friends, right? I gave her like a bonus plan and she ran with it and we became business partners and we become friends. I don't even know who referred her to me. She keeps telling me that's her brother. I don't even remember him. So because I cared about her, because of during negotiations and during our dealings, I always consider her. She would say, "Oh, I have this. Okay, let's consider this." Show concern. I think Dr. Eni hammered on that, like, and Dr. Vivian also said, "Do not be so self-focused." We get a lot of freelancers and remote workers just concerned about their tummy, you know. So I think with a team, whether you're going alone, whether you're building a team or you're building your name, online presence, care for other people. People can tell when you do not give a feedback. They can see it in how you speak to them, in how you handle their work, in how you relate with them. So I think that from one thing that I think everyone should draw from this overall session is just care for the work you do, care for the attention to detail. If the work is not good enough for you to consume, then you should send it as delivery, even if it's something tacky for you to consume. Think of it as giving it to the highest power. It could be God, it could be your president, it could be whatever it is that you serve. Just care, and it shows. I've had people react to my work and say, when I write stuff, business plans or academic work, and they look at it, they look at it and they're like, looking at it, I know it's good. They just see it and they see the formatting. They just shows that this person is caring. They care about my work and they put in the work to okay make it work. Sorry.
Oh my God, but that was genius. That was genius, even though we couldn't really, really enjoy all the nugget it was dropping. I love result-oriented people, people that have done this thing. I'm just hammering on people that have done, people that have done. We've been on this. Okay, talk about it. If what we are doing has actually not been profitable, I won't be here for the past 5 years. I would have gone to somewhere. Maybe I would have been a mechanic or something else, or do something different from all of those things, and be something else. You can be good, honestly. You can be good at what you do. See, there is no point in faking what can be real. You just need to get better. You don't need to fake what can be real. How did these people get to where they are now? How should a medical practitioner live where she is and helping people, counting 50,000 people? This is huge. Over to you, Dr. Vivian, please.
Okay, like I said, thank you so much for bringing me here. And it's such an honor to even be on the same panel with Dr. Annie right now because it's been a huge while. Usually, the evenings are usually very chaotic for me. But this is what I'm going to tell anyone, right? Remote working is working to, you know, leverage someone's business with your expertise. But then remote business is, you know, doing what you would have promised or solving a problem you would have promised to solve for someone else. So I'm saying it because please, if you're out there, don't be afraid to start businesses. Provided you can solve a problem, a business has started. And then one line that I would want to say to anyone who is probably listening to me, once you find a framework unique to you, even if it's not unique to you, you can reference people where necessary that solves problem, then a business has started. The only difference is how can you repeat this thing so often that you can easily communicate, because again is when you solve problem, there's the other side of it, which I always tell my students, the communication side of it, the public speaking side of it. I know there are lots of people who are introverts and all that. And please, this is not the season to keep quiet, right? You will, even though you can always find ways to communicate your excellence, whether through AI, faceless channels. But that's everything we're saying tonight. Please pay attention to every problem that you've solved easily, even if it's as a child. It's called the low hanging fruit if it's you've always known it. And then if you have it as a professional expertise, go ahead and solve that problem. And HugeSmile will be here to give you the requisite structure you need to pivot through the revenue structures. Thank you so much. And the mic is over to you.
Oh my God, I can continue to listen, and not. Please, Dr. Vivian, don't run away from me. Oh, don't leave me. Dr. Annie, don't leave. Let's do this together. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of these things. Like, I'm really, really overwhelmed by the love, by everything, for not gatekeeping anything. You share everything. Do you know that because of Youth Smile, I've met some amazing people? I even met a guy in Nigeria who is in Oyo State who has made over 50,000 US dollars on Upwork through that. And when you're about to do something great, you begin to see people that have actually done something great. See, something's about to happen. And this is not because, oh, we can talk, we can do, no. I have a very strong feelings that there are so many things that can really, really happen, that will happen through this thing. I know where I'm coming from. I know what I have done to my mind. I know what I have learned. I know how far I've come, and I know what my mind used to look like 4 years ago. I was sharing with the team yesterday that I've not had the time to actually share the background story. I'm a kind of person that come from -0. So I have a story to share with the world, not only with the young ones. I have a story to share with the world that you have the capacity to do whatsoever thing you can do. There was no any leverage, not even educational background, not family, not anything. I'm telling you, to be very honest with you, and that's not a lie. That is not a lie at all. No any leverage. But I know when God says that, when the Bible says that, I know the thought I have for you is not thought of evil, but thought of good, to have an expected end, then I can testify to it that there is an expected end, regardless of where you're coming from. And if I'm not mistaken, I've trained over 200 students, from like 7 countries, and most of them are doing. I mean, some of them are listening to me right now, and then they've seen what is possible. I've seen somebody that have literally changed his mind from nothing to absolutely what he's doing, who is building a very big brand right now. Do you get? So let's keep together, stay around great people, and you'll be great. Annie was part of the person I stood around. Stanley Greening is part of them, and here we are today. Do you get? Stay around foolish people and you become foolish too. So depend on who you want to be, choose your partner, choose who you want to be, and then you be wherever you want to be. I don't want to join the crowd. I don't want to be part of the crowd. I just want to be who I am. I just want to be who I am called to be. And thank you so much for everyone who has chosen to be part of this show, to be part of us. We are happy to be launching HugeSmile. Do have a wonderful evening, have a wonderful afternoon, and have a wonderful morning. I have a lot of time zone on my head right now. In New Zealand, this is 8:56 a.m. Now in EST, this is 2:56 p.m. This is probably 12 noon in, no, 11:56 in PT. All of it, I have it in mind because I've worked with many of these time zone. So thank you so much for everyone who has joined us from all over the world, from US, from Canada, from Ghana, from Angola, from all of the places that you've joined us from. We really appreciate you. Do have a wonderful night rest, and we are coming next week Saturday on System and Structure Saturday, proudly funded by HugeSmile, and you are going to be learning more about structure. Thank you, everyone. Please help me to thank everybody in the
Congratulations.
comment. Thank you, everyone. I'm really
Yeah.
excited to be able to do this. Thank you so much. I hope you guys
Congratulations.
you have a
Congratulations to
great.
you, my friend. Well done, you.
Thank you so
Let's
much.
see your service grow. Let's see you serve more
Yeah.
people, right? I can't wait.
Thank you. Thank you so
Well
much.
done, you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Okay.
Hi,
Bye.
nice to meet everyone.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone. Dr. Vivian, we'll talk soon. I'll DM you. Take care. Take care.